Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final table of the 2.5K Centurion here at the 2026 APL Million. You know me, my name is Jordan Bromley, but what you might not know is the two lovely gentlemen joining me in the commentary booth. You can't make it up. They've made their way up from Melbourne. Berkey, Monkey, how we doing, boys? Welcome to the booth.
Oh, mate, tip-top. How we doing?
Absolutely fantastic myself. What about you over there on the
mate,
far
I'm
right?
kicking goals. Feeling good, mate. It's pumping down here at the old Southport Sharks.
I can't believe how
Room
busy
is
it is.
absolutely packed to the rafters.
We got over 1,200 people in the Jackstar. We had 780 in this one. Money is just flowing from, I don't know where.
Just everywhere.
Everybody's
Yeah.
decided to look under their couch pillows and pull out wads of cash.
Did you see the video that was posted this morning about the line out
Oh
the door?
my God.
Oh my God.
So
that
I was actually
crazy.
going to get up and come in
Yeah.
on little sleep, and then I saw that video. I was like, nah, back to sleep.
Back to sleep, yeah.
So I was like, I'm not waiting in that line.
Time
It
to
was out
snooze.
the door. I can't. They hit almost. Was it? They almost hit the guarantee
They-
right
they-
off the first.
They did. I think
Yeah.
we started, and then about 15 minutes into starting, the guarantee was cracked. So
Yeah,
it's
it's
absolutely
crazy.
ridiculous. Anyway, straight into it. Looking at the top of the screen, it looks like Jimmy Chen, 25 million, in fact, not 21. He left with 23 a while ago as our chip leader, a quarter of the chips in play. Now he's almost at a third, and we're going to get started straight away to a flop of Queen 9-3, the ace-jack offsuit for Xiaofeng Dong, also known as Princess. And Patrick's going to defend the 10-9 and locates himself middle pair. Have you guys had any experience with any of the names up top? Anybody you recognize up there?
Yeah, Patrick, we know
Yeah.
Patrick quite a lot. We've
Patrick's
commentated a lot of Patrick.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
it's good to see you
Troy
in there.
Sweet, we've done a fair bit of work with
That's true.
Troy.
Yeah, up in Kings.
He's actually been in the box with us a few times.
Oh, there you
he's
go.
actually
That's true.
I believe he is actually rocking one of their hoodies, so it's good to see him in the mix. He is in here second in chips with, or equal second in chips with 11 million. He found the knockout of Johan Lees just before this final table started. So we're going to see the check from Patrick over to Xiaofeng, who has been a little bit on the tighter side. She is hovering around that 4.8 million mark. Haven't seen her get much more. Definitely the most stylish member of the final table.
Ain't that the truth?
Not as stylish as you boys, rocking the nice white hoodies. Now, quickly, before we go any further, give yourselves a quick plug to those tuning in at home about the Instagram page we can find you guys on.
Go, Berkey.
No,
You
Monkey,
do it.
Monkey.
It's on me, is it?
Yeah, you got this.
You can
man.
look us up on YCMIU, so the acronym for You Can't Make It Up. Commentary on Instagram, and you can also look us up on Facebook at You Can't Make It Up Commentary there. We also have a website, which is ycmiu.com.au. If you want to buy any of the merch or follow us on the socials that way, you can do that too.
Yep.
Just like that.
It's quite easy.
Well, why were you going to get him to do it when you did it so perfectly?
Yeah, yeah. That's what I mean, I always like to lead him in with it. He's just he's very smooth when it comes to the calling of it.
Patrick made that bet there of 450k there.
Yeah.
With the odd natural 9, the four-side.
Lovely.
Getting it done.
Flop, check. He's just going to reach out and take it as we've got 4 players sub at 20 big blinds. The reason that they are so short is because, as we mentioned, Jimmy Chen, he's still got 100 bigs, or as I like to say,
yeah.
100 Justins, 100 Biebers.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Lovely. I hope that one gets carried
No, I
along.
love it. Yeah, I'll do it for sure.
It's just funny. I was trying, you always look at who you got on the table and how many chips they got. Just Jimmy Chen having 25 million chips. He's going to a final table. He's just nuts.
Yeah,
So-
100 bigs at a final table is like a pretty commanding chip lead, to be fair. I have seen people lose them though, Jordan.
Well,
a few
I mean,
times, you know how it
we
happens.
had it happen earlier in the week. I can't remember what event it was specifically for, but we had a player go through day one in the PLO. I
Sure.
wanted to say he had over 350 big blinds as late registration closed. Ended up coming 5th. So it does happen. It does happen that somebody will get here with all of the biscuits and will be unable to eat them at the end of the day. But
I mean, you've got to run good to get here,
Oh,
regardless of how good you are, but you've still got to run good on the final table. It's just-
Yeah, totally agree with that. But I've got an even better story to tell about that in a second, Jordan, about the guy sitting next to me having 1,300 bigs and not cashing.
wow, that's very impressive. How on earth did you manage to do that?
Yeah, I'll tell
I
you
was
about that in a
15
second.
off the money.
Wow, if anything, that makes it even better. It would have been better if you bubbled.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
Picking up the action here, we've got Peter opening the ace-jack offsuit. He started with 15 bigs. Sometimes you see people come with an open jam from this one. He's recognizing that he is not the stone shortest, so a little bit of ICM to come out of this with James Hawkett's 10 big blind stack there in the big 10-7 offsuit. You are going to see this one defended off of the sub 10 big blinds, but no. He just passes it up, and now I want to hear about how you managed to light money on fire.
Man, I got to the first break and I had 1,300 blinds. I had 19 stacks
What
play.
type of tournament
It
was
was
this?
it was like a King's Churchill's on a Tuesday.
Oh,
So we got
some
invited out to
some
it.
$200 like mess around game, yeah.
Amazing.
And from what we've been told numerous times before, like the price pool can get up to like 30 or 40K. Now, a $200 buy-in on a random Tuesday. You can't make it up, yeah? Anyway,
Of course.
yeah, literally, you can't make it up.
Yeah, so I ended up on the first break. The blinds were 200, 400, 400, and I had 579,000 chips.
Which leads me into my next question. What do you have against money?
Oh, I love to light it on fire once in a while. Actually, often, if you don't mind.
The funny thing is I said to him after the break, I said, knuckle down now, man. You can't lose from here, yeah?
Yeah.
Can't even make it.
I think
Oh, no. That would have been what did it.
Yeah, probably.
You can't lose from here.
I
is-
think there was a better chance of winning the tournament than not making the money.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes, I think so as well.
I think odds would have been much shorter.
On the topic of not making the money or winning the tournaments, you're in the mix in the 1150 shot clock yesterday. How was that
Yeah.
experience?
Oh, no, mate, I love the PLO. I've always been a big fan of it. I played pretty well, but I just got into some rough spots, and I was just a few off the money, which is, that can happen.
Happens to the best of us.
So I'm going to have a few more fires. I'm going to fire the main event over the next day or two a few times because, you never bag your first time.
Oh, absolutely.
So keen to get in the mix. And I mean, I'm telling you, when you got the reason we actually decided to come up here is, I saw $3 million on the guarantee. So, I mean, you've got to throw your hat in the ring to have
It's
a
going to
chance.
be comfortably
like
crushed, I reckon,
Yeah.
as well.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's very good.
It's a Fugazi number. It's a number that doesn't really exist because,
Yep.
I mean, it's like with the numbers that they've shown all week, everyone is firing into that.
Yeah, if that doesn't get close to like, upwards of like 4 million, I'll be pretty surprised. To be
We
fair.
did actually get a jam here in the small blind from James, the King 7, into the
7.
chip leader.
For sub 8
Yeah.
big blinds or just over 8 big blinds. And Jimmy has been running it pretty wide so far, but 4-3 suited is pretty ambitious. I mean,
It depends who you ask. Monkey would play this for sure, especially with that chip stack size.
a 7 is good in a lot of games, but
Less
I'm
than
not sure
10%
if
of his stack. He wants to knock someone out. So
Yep. Do we want to help the rest of the table and get them all with a ladder? What is interesting about this is that maybe he would want to keep the short stack in, keep applying the ICM pressure, the
Yes.
right jump. You can see the payouts down the bottom of the screen. We've locked up 29K, but the jump from that to this point is a little over 2 buy-ins. So we've got that in the back of his head.
It's like going into the market there, Jimmy.
and you do. You're always right. When you're the big stack, you want to keep the real short stacks in as long as possible, so you can put that pressure right in the middling stacks because that is the hardest place to play.
Have a look at
with
that
short
chip down
stacks.
up the top
That's
there.
crazy, isn't it?
24 million, yeah.
Obscene.
97 bigs. Eat your heart out, poker lovers.
And I will say that you mentioned that you never get to bag it on the first instance playing the main. We had Najim Arjez in here. Obviously, you'd know Naj.
Yeah, no,
Naj,
Naj,
yeah,
very
of
well.
course.
And you might have heard the story about how he's in for the max in the main event. He's played every flight. He's in for 2 bullets in both. He's openly stating that he's probably in for the maximum of anybody that could possibly be in there. So it can't be worse than that, right?
That's it.
Well,
that's
But that's a
beautiful.
Naj
Love that.
special.
That's
That's
a
a
Naj
Naj
special.
Yeah.
That's when Naj fires, 15 bullets and something and goes and chips it. It doesn't look like he's
Yes.
done any damage.
And he has to come like this to make his money back.
Yeah, well, exactly. He said it himself. He said, I'm going to have to become 7th to get out of the hole in the tournament. That's a 1,500. If you guys have any questions for the boys, we've got Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube chats all open. You might see some familiar faces flicking in there. We've got CK. I feel like it's a rite of passage that when you come in the booth, you get needled. He said he clicked on the APL stream just to get away from these voices. Too bad. Too bad. We've got him back.
He's a good friend of ours,
Yeah.
actually. He's best mate of that at
Yeah,
Berks.
he's
So
one of my best
we know who
mates.
he is.
Oh, good
MSP
stuff.
is obviously in the chat. She actually got some new You Can't Make It Up merchandise, so I might give her a
Amazing.
shout out. Yeah,
Awesome.
MSP who's out there, the red on red.
Oh,
looks
yep.
amazing. Just
She was
quietly.
at Fantasy sniping some players that nobody else may have known about. And I think she's been doing pretty well with it. I
Yeah,
think they've had
sweet.
some pretty good
Love it.
results so far.
I
As you
wish
see.
I would have got up here early enough for fantasy. That looked like so much fun.
Oh, there's always next year, and I think next year is going to be even bigger. This
Oh, yeah.
year, we
If anything,
locked
it's
out
that
at
one.
24 teams. It's the most teams we've ever had. And
Wow.
I don't know if you heard about the mini fantasy. I believe there's over 100 teams in that one.
Gee
So
whiz,
it's
right,
absolutely
okay.
crazy. Abernathy's got his work cut out for him dealing with that. Peter opening the ace-queen offsuit, the 500K, going once again for a steal here. Over to James with the 7-6 suited and 10 bigs. Going to pass it up. Jimmy's ace-7. What are we going to see from him here? Definitely could apply pressure with a hand like this. Take it for a 3-bet bluff if he really wanted to. However, he
Problem is
does
it's 16 bigs.
exactly.
Yeah, problem is it's 16 bigs. So if he does decide to make the move, even if he just decides to click it, I think he's going to get jammed on from Peter, especially with 16 bigs behind.
It's one of those spots that Peter has to think about as well. If he doubles, he gets taken up to 32 bigs, but does that really help him so much in the
Yeah,
standings
good
in this
point.
tournament?
Good point.
Looks like we are going to see a fold, and given how Princess has played so far, 9-3 offsuit's not going to be in her wheelhouse. Expect this one to get a little bit of thought and then let go.
Yeah, the big blind, you're supposed to defend fairly wide, but when it's an early position raid like an under the gun, you just be getting rid of the 9-3.
Especially when you've got 17 bigs too.
Yep.
This isn't a hand to contend with ever.
Yep. She usually plays things at a little bit of a slower pace, but she is going to give it some thought and relinquish. Now, what other events did you have your eye on to play other than the main? And what are we going to be going? What's the first ride we're looking at Wet and Wild when you do go there? You said you were very excited for that.
It's actually funny. We went to Top
Golf.
Golf. I should
Awesome.
say a little bit earlier tonight.
Yep.
We had a ton of fun there, and as we were driving back, I was like, "That's Wet and Wild. I'm pretty sure we have to go there." So very likely we might be hitting up Wet and Wild tomorrow, depending on the weather. And because I wouldn't go over the weekend, I'd imagine it gets pretty busy.
Yep.
But yeah, probably the first ride we walk into, just
Straight
let's
into
go,
it?
Berkey. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, I will say that you guys probably picked the wrong month to come and check out the theme parks. Movie World does, during the month of October, Halloween-themed night sessions.
Right,
So you can get
okay.
there after 6 p.m. until about 10 o'clock at night.
Sure.
Amazing fun.
Right.
Scared the crap out of you if you're in there at the
Right.
right
Okay.
time.
Fair enough.
Action folding around here. Chris Lee, the 7.6 offsuit. Not today, I wouldn't think. We've gotten plenty of styles here. Plenty of guys rocking the sunnies. Those lights are certainly bright out there. You guys
I know. I was actually looking at that before. Like
Yep.
the lights would be really getting into your eyes on this thing,
It's a
but
bit of a
you kind of
change.
need them, don't you?
Yeah, a bit of a change to the venue as far as some of the lighting stuff that happened at the start of the year. So I've had to make some changes. It is pretty hectic on there, but these guys have got their sunglasses. They're prepared. Obviously, you guys in the comms booth. When was the last time you got to play under the lights? Have we been on a feature
Don't
table,
ask
boys?
me that one, Berkey. I haven't made a final
I know
table.
that you've been behind the scenes making everything run
I
smoothly.
played a couple at Play Live.
Yep.
Um,
As we see, James is going to pile in the Queen 10. Jimmy with the 9.6 suited.
2.6 million to call here. I don't think he makes the call, obviously, from the button. Still got a couple of other players to act behind him in that of Chow Fang, and obviously rounding out to Peter.
Peter
Scott.
wakes up with it with the ace-9 suited. He's going to ask for a count, and I think for just over 10 bigs against a cut-off rip, I think we're going to see him running this one.
Yeah, I would agree with you on this, Jordan. I think ace-9 suited is good enough to run against this hand.
I think it is good enough, but I don't think he wants to.
Yeah, we're going to see...
The thing is, ICM pressure, the payouts are going to be huge. I mean, you might run it, but I mean, there's also every chance that even with a cut-off raise, I know Queen 10's in a cut-off raise, you know, jamming with that many big blinds, but I mean, it is going to be, what, 60% of your stack. And
Yep.
you could be dominated a lot of the time with the ace kings, ace queens, ace jacks that, you know, are going to be jamming that.
That is the
pretty
big thing to
wide.
think about. It is 60% of his stack. Also, though, on the inverse, have to remember that if he's jamming from the cutoff, this later position instead of under the gun, we're probably going to be seeing stuff like the ace fives, the ace
Sure,
fours.
of course.
We're going to be
Yep.
dominating the king nine suited. So
Yep.
I think Peter's going to come to the conclusion that he's probably just going to have to flick it in. Obviously, he's going to give it a fair bit of thought. What is it
Very
going to be,
borderline.
sir? Rocking the Masters golf hat. We had a conversation about golf not long ago.
You beauty. I
Are we
love
going-
that cap. What a cap, huh?
Are we-
Augusta.
Are we going to see the chips chipped in here?
He's doing one of those time backs. He's going for another one here,
Yep.
so he's going to take his time. How long has he got? Like 30?
30 seconds,
Yeah,
and
okay,
as
fair
part
enough.
of the final
Beautiful.
table, reaching the final table, the players actually had theirs refreshed. They've
Fresh.
got a further 6 of them.
Okay,
So a little bit of an addition to this year's Centurion. I believe we didn't have shot clocks last year.
right.
It's definitely made the pace of play a lot more enjoyable. We've been able to see consistent action. Whilst there has been tanking, hasn't been as egregious as previous years, but
We always have the discussion about he does end up making the call there.
chips go in.
Right call.
Cards are going to be on their back, and we are going to see all 5. I believe we're going to have it announced by Adrian on site, so I'll try not to talk over that one too much, but we're going to keep the reactions flowing in here as well. We want to make sure we ride along with the excitement as it happens. Queen 10, Ace 9. Is this going to be the first elimination of our final table in the 2026 APL Million 2.5K Centurion? The flop.
Bit of a slow roll too with a flop, huh?
Yeah,
You beauty.
We got Adrian announcing it
Let's go.
on site as well, so don't want to rain on his parade.
Sure.
Let's see it.
Flop. Jack, ace, 6.
Yeah, ace two.
Gut
That's a
shot.
gut shot.
Straight away. Guttable though, so 4 kings still remaining.
Turn is a
9 adds more. 8s and
Does.
kings. 8 outs once. Is he going to be able to locate it and stay alive?
river is a
River is the 4 of hearts, so we say GG's to our first finisher. James Hawkins in 9th position. 29,835 boys. Not bad for a few
I
days.
mean, I'll
notice.
tell you what.
29, just short of 30k there, Berkey,
Just
yeah?
make it knock first off, knocked out of the final table. That is a huge score. But I'll tell you what, just looking at the first prize, that's 300,000.
Obscene, right?
That is obscene
stupid
numbers for a
amount of money.
poker tournament.
More
man.
money than the APL Million main event used to get when it was held, before it was held at Southport Sharks. It used to get around 300k for the winner.
Yeah,
Now
right.
look at it in here. A couple of questions I want to cover off in the YouTube chat. Ask Monkey about pocket aces in the streamed cash game.
Yeah, thank you very much for the question from whoever that is. Yeah,
It might be the same guy that
CK, yeah, he'd be
CK,
the one
yeah.
you
guys earlier.
I was on stream playing a cash game at Play Live and left the table for one hand, picked up aces. Yeah.
It's always the time you most suspect.
It
Yeah,
wasn't
like you
just
said.
that. It wasn't just he picked up aces. The board went 3 ways with a huge pot that he would have taken down.
Oh dear.
So the hand was run out with 2 others who would have been in it as well with big hands.
It's okay, I didn't need the 4K I lost in that game anyway, so don't worry about it.
Atlas is asking about Jimmy Chen. Was he always the chip leader or only recently? So once we got to down to 24 or 25 players remaining, he had 13 million then, and by the time there was 18 left, he had 23. So he's been the chip leader for most of today's action, I will say. Our Spiritual Trading Podcast says the vibe was electric in there last night. Oh yeah, yesterday was absolutely bonkers. Not only for the Centurion, we bagged on the bubble, couldn't quite get there, had to return
Yeah,
today
I
on
heard
the
about
stone.
that.
On the stone, Michael Bublé, as
Yeah,
you probably
the
heard.
Michael
I'll
Bublé,
tell
very
you what,
good.
if you're
Very
on a-
good, Jordan, I like it.
If you're a short stack player going into that next day, how gut wrenching would
Well,
that be a lot of the time?
Angel Guillen had 1.5 big blinds, so he had to come back the next day. He made the money.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
money.
He made the
Well
money.
played.
Yep.
Well played.
Player managed to send in 10s for about 10 big blinds, ran into ace king, king high flop, ace turn, king river. Thanks for coming in the money. That was about the second hand this morning. And picking up the action, Troy with the queen 10. Hui Liang has been very wide in his defense. 6-3 offsuits. Good in some games, natural 9, but not this one.
I love it, Jordan.
Couple of
Fantastic.
questions about the APL Million venues. Unfortunately, I can't answer questions outside my pay grade. You'll have to ask the bosses, which I will say we're probably going to bring them in tomorrow for day number 2 of Jackstar. So look forward to that. Get your questions written down.
Talking about the Jackstar too, isn't that going on?
It's
man.
absolutely ridiculous.
Huh? 1,300 runners so far with like 12 hours worth of late registration still on.
What's your prediction of what that is?
I had the line set at 1750, but I reckon we're probably going to eclipse that tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I reckon that will easily get over 1,750. I reckon they might get another 750
2K
runners tomorrow.
2K is on the horizon, but you have to remember there's only one level of late registration.
Sure,
tomorrow.
okay, that
So we're
makes
kicking
sense.
off at 11 a.m. late rego, closing at 11:40.
Right, okay,
so
there you go.
that's going to put a little bit of a damper of things. Also, we've got 85 tables in the entire venue. How many players can we possibly sit
That's a good
as
point.
well? I mean, you plan for the absolute worst case scenario when somehow more people decide to rock
I
up.
thought
So
Joel told me it was like 92.
it might be 90, it might be including the,
Yeah.
the cactus room out the
But I
back.
mean, like 92 tables in a
Mate,
venue. And
if they get any more players, man, they're going to have to, go out to the car park
Well,
and
yeah,
set up some tables
I have a
out there.
theory that we're just going to wait for a year where the footy club doesn't do well and we're going to set up tables on the field.
Great idea. I love
Yeah.
it.
excuse me, we're making enough money. I need you to take down the pokies there.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, good luck with
Shao
that.
Fang here with the old ace 10. Yeah, he's going to pop it up and make it a $500,000 to go.
Peter off the back of winning that pot just previously with 10s. Are we going to see the price of poker increase? Shout out to Black Dat saying hello.
It definitely should be increasing here with the pocket 10s. He's on the dealer button. He's got position. He wants to get some hands.
Yeah, 31
like ace king
bigs.
to call, especially when they're completely dominated. But I mean, Princess herself has been playing rather tight.
Yep.
So this might be a tighter range than the ace 10 is actually looking.
Oh, and relative to the amount of chips that she actually is starting with, he's gone a very large size. He's gone exactly 3.1x, which usually at this stack depth, if we're operating with 15 bigs, you're going to see like 2.3, 2.4 sometimes. But we're clicking it up. He really wants to charge the max. And we've got a question from a fellow commentator, Braden Jinx, in the chat. asking, is this the
Jinxie.
600
you gotta love
subbies?
Jinxie's in
Jinxie.
the chat.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Crowd favorite, of course. Not here at the moment, taking care of his little one. Good to see you in the chat, mate. Hope you guys are enjoying this coverage. Once again, if you guys want to follow these guys on Instagram, they're an absolute hoot. YCMIU commentary on Instagram. You'll be able to see them all over the place, as it's really cool to see Australian poker commentary and streaming and stuff kind of reaching the next level.
Mate,
You guys are
yeah.
doing a great job.
Everywhere we've gone to do this is just getting better and better. Everyone's stepping up the game. And it's the same thing I talk about the more places that are popping up as well. Poker in Australia is booming because there's getting so many good operators out there, none more so than the APL themselves. But just how good is poker being back and booming in Australia?
Oh,
It
it's
is
awesome.
Yeah,
just-
and when it's being streamed across multiple different platforms, and you've got some good people calling the cards, and you
Yep.
bring in some special guests and all of that type of stuff. It's always like a pleasure to be up here calling cards with whomever.
Yep.
And obviously we do our own thought sort of thing on the side, but having the viewership obviously plugged in and wanting to learn about the stories of the players and the narrative that actually comes out during the game outside of just the game itself is like a big component to it being so successful. So,
yeah, and I've had an absolute blast over the course of this series. I've had more players in here doing commentary with me that I've ever had ever before.
Yep.
I've had guys that I never even thought would ever want to come in and do commentary. For example, Josh Norvok this morning, he's been a mainstay.
Oh, Josh was in here. Okay, beautiful.
That was who we were chatting about being a PGA caddy.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, I've played with Josh for the better part of 6 years. He stopped playing about 2 years ago, disappeared. He's playing a bit now. He said, "Oh, can I come in and have a chat?" I said, "Sure, mate, it'd be great."
There we
But
go.
I don't really chat too much. I said, "That's all right. We'll just have a chat about anything." And I'm talking about golf for half an hour. It was fantastic.
You got to love that.
Monkey, you don't get on the conversation with Monkey about golf.
All right, we don't want to talk about it.
You'll never stop.
Jimmy here is
He's-
going to pop it up and make it a $500,000 to go. Under the gun +2 with the old A7 offsuit.
Chris doesn't mind to defend, I will say. Sorry to cut you off.
No,
there.
not at all. Please.
Jack 8's probably going to be good enough in his eyes. 15, I would think that against a min raise, you're probably going to want to come along sometimes, but he's probably looking around at some of the other stacks at the table and recognizing that Xiao Fang is shorter than he is. But maybe it's probably not going to work out for him if he just waits for her to bust. But no, he is going to pass it up, and more chips going to the richer, and he keeps getting richer.
Well, that's it. When you've got the big stack, you can start putting pressure on these middling stacks. I mean, if the short stack wasn't there, he would definitely defend that a lot of the time, and I'm sure Jimmy Chen knows that. So when he's putting pressure on some of these stacks, especially when they're in the blinds, he can just absolutely steal chips.
And now, Jordan, I have
constantly.
to ask you a quick question.
Sure thing.
You know, you do a ton of poker commentary, and
Yep.
I know you do a bit of the international scene too.
Sure.
Do you get a chance to actually play?
Uh,
Like legitimately, like sit down and enjoy it?
I don't know.
or-
I don't know if this is a segue to allow me to flex a little bit. I had one day off this series.
Okay.
Managed to ship a tournament, which was a little bit fun.
Wow,
Yeah,
really?
yeah, absolutely pure sun run. I'm not going to claim that I know what I'm doing anymore, but pure sun run, which
Yeah.
was a lot of fun.
Cool.
In the mini mystery bounty, so that was good. But overseas, actually, when I'm not commentating, I'm based in Macau.
Yep.
I'm not in Macau for legal reasons, but in Macau.
Sure.
And I'm playing cash games.
Okay.
So I'm over there playing all the cash games at MGM and Venetian in the mix, and then as far as my visa allows me, I'll time it so that then I jet off to Jeju or jet off to Taipei or wherever I'm going, and that's just kind of what I'm doing. Just gallivanting around the place. It's
There you
great.
go.
I
You
was
gotta
just in
love
Macau
that.
at the start of the year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's a good spot.
I
It's a lot-
stayed at the Venetian, and
Yep.
yeah, really, really nice poker room over there.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, the price of poker goes up over there, doesn't
Oh
it?
yeah, the smallest game you can play over there is that 1020 AUD mark. So
Right,
that's the
okay.
lowest game that you can play. Some of the
Jeez.
other rooms had 510, but that's been and
Long
gone.
gone, long gone.
No more. No more. You guys have the opportunity to get to any other spots in Asia? You got anything on your horizons that you want to try and get out to?
Not really at the moment. Berkey and I are kind of working on some stuff in the background and,
Yep.
and so forth. So, you know, if the opportunities become, you know, available to us, then yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah, good stuff.
But nothing we've really planned out or anything like that. So
Yeah.
Patrick here just found the pocket 90. He's popped up to make a $500,000 and got a call from the big blind. From
It is.
Mr. Wu with the old ace deuce offsuit. Flop came down King 10 4. Couple of clubs there, Jordan. Check from Mr. Wu.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce his first name?
I'm saying it Daoyu,
Daoyu?
but I'm not
Yeah.
entirely sure as we do see check, 5 of clubs turn. Patrick without a club, and I wonder whether or not Daoyu is going to sense some weakness, potentially reach out and take this one away with a hand that probably isn't going to be winning very often
True.
if he shows it down. Nope, just decides to check it over, thinks ace high is going to be good enough sometimes. And now Patrick is just going to check it back. We're probably just going to try and get this to showdown mode. River card is the queen of hearts, another over. Not what you want to
Yeah,
see.
it's
It's always the
definitely not
case
with
when you've got
pocket
eights or nines, right,
I
boys?
mean, if you've got nines with the 9 of clubs, it's a bit different story. You can throw a bet in there, but nine's just sitting there naked with the 3 overs.
Yep.
And-
He's just going to show it down, and ace high turns itself over. No good. Pocket nines are going to win that one. Every year at the APL Million, boys, it's a bit of a melding of all the states. What's it like coming here and seeing so many Melbourneites? I'm seeing blokes
yeah,
from
I
Melbourne
mean,
running
it's like-
around.
it's-
It's
yeah.
like being home
Do you
for
know,
you guys, probably,
well,
right?
I came to APL Millions for the first time last year. I didn't spend much time here, but I came in this year. And for being the first time up here where I've actually spent a series, I know half the players.
Yeah.
Which is weird, going
Yeah.
into a brand new venue and seeing all the people you know.
You know what it actually reminds me of a little bit, Jordan? You know the movie Rounders, when they all rock up at the casino and
Yeah, yeah.
welcome to the
Yeah.
Chesterfield South.
Everybody's
yeah?
in Atlantic City, and
Yeah,
everybody just
exactly.
at the same table.
It's like you rock up and everybody's like, yep, this is the Chesterfield South, you know, from Melbourne. Yeah, all of the players from Melbourne have made the effort to come up, and, you know, everybody appreciates everybody who flies in from everywhere. I know that there's players, like international players, who've come
Yep.
along to the APL Million, and obviously as far as Western Australia and so on and so forth.
We were having the conversation earlier, actually. There was a player that was on the feature table much earlier who actually is a Chinese TikTok live streamer. who has a
okay.
cameraman following her around, filming her at all the tables. So it's
Right.
cool
Oh,
to
is
see
that what
players.
that was out there?
Yeah,
Is
that's what that was. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're seeing people from all over the place.
I always
coming
thought that
over
was
the
Jamie
series.
Hall's camera.
Yeah.
Like just filming an outside table or something like
Shout
that.
outs to
but apparently,
Jamie too. He's a champion.
Oh, he does a great job as always. He's got a well-deserved day off today, so
He
he's having a
does.
nice, relaxing one. As we see Jimmy King Queen suited taking it north. Hugh Yang, excuse me, folding the Ace 3-0. Nobody really waking up with anything. We're not really seeing too many fireworks outside of that first elimination. People kind of feeling themselves out on this final table a little bit. And why wouldn't you when you're playing for $368,000 up top?
1.7 plus in the prize pool. I mean, just unbelievable. Huge numbers down here at the 2026 APL Million. Obviously in the Centurion, the $2,500 buy-in event, generating a field of 780
Yeah, I
runners.
know.
I mean,
I
it
saw-
just sounds insane, yeah?
the fact that you're getting 780 runners to a 2.5K event just shows, like personally, how big the boom back is in Australia. It's just
Absolutely.
wild.
For those people who are watching at home also, top right-hand corner just needs to be adjusted.
Yeah. we're
Down to
just
8.
Slightly down on our numbers. We do have 8 remaining. That seat empty in seat number 9. But that's all right, as that is quite the flop for Jimmy Chen. Top pair, second nut flush draw, middle pair for Patrick. So he's probably going to be calling the flop at least once, I would think.
Yep.
What are we going to see here from our chip leader?
He's going to be coming out firing. Definitely does. Puts in the 250, the one big blind. Patrick Stowe's going to be going absolutely nowhere. It's very, very hard to flop a pair in Hold'em and get the second pair.
Hard
the
to make a
best
pair, as they
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
and he's got to be very cautious looking at those 2 big blind stacks lingering. He doesn't really want to bust now and miss those pay jumps, and the Jack
Big
of Clubs
card.
seals it. Flush on the turn and a redraw to a straight flush.
Yep.
Wonder if we're going to see our first Royal on stream for the
How good would
series.
that be?
That would be
That'd be an
50.
interesting
As
call.
far as,
Yeah.
Can't make it up
yeah, you
content,
can't
perfect.
make it up.
Yeah.
As far as that goes, you wouldn't be able to make it up with just one tick. Got a question from Annie King asking what time this FT is bagging. So we're going to be playing 2 levels as the repeat queen just gets better and better for Jimmy. He didn't need trips, but he got it anyway. So we're going to be playing 2 additional levels. So this level plus 1 more, and then we're going to be ceasing it for the day's action. 14 hours is plenty for these guys to be in the mix.
That's the wife, by the way.
Oh, hello. Welcome
There
to
you
the
go.
stream.
Yeah, I just looked it down.
Thanks
Yeah.
for tuning in.
Yeah. So, no, she actually came in with us tonight to come in and say hi to a few people. So she's
Wonderful.
sitting out there
Oh, good stuff.
watching the stream.
Amazing. Also, Craig, the head of the Australian poker schedule, giving us an update. Troy Sweet is the only player at this table drafted to a fantasy team, so could get his team way back in contention with a
Wow,
good
that'd
result
be
here.
huge.
That'd be massive.
That'd be a sweet sweat itself.
Yep.
Very good, Berkey.
Very
Yeah, the old
good.
play on words. Very good.
As we are going to see Jimmy find a bet on the end after checking back the turn, setting the trap. It looks like he's come with roughly half pot. Wonder if we're going to see Patrick get a little bit sticky. Hard to imagine that too many of the Queen X are going to be checking, but obviously with that flush, maybe he's going to be thinking that those slowed down. Reckon we're going to see a call here, boys?
No, I'd like to see him make a fold here. I think he can find a better spot, obviously, with the ace-10. But, I mean, you've made a very good case for him to make a call. He's got third best pair with the nut kicker. It's obviously blocking the nut straight. But like you say, if he had a club in his hand, he's probably making a call here. But I would like him to make a fold. But he does flick in one of those time banks, so he's going to take an extra 30 seconds to make a decision on his hand. I think he finds the fold here, though, Jordan. What do you
A
reckon?
little bit more time to think about, and I think he's going to add the numbers up in his head and come to the realization that there's probably enough hands that are checking the turn that he was losing to
Yeah.
that are going to go for this B50 value size on the river. I think letting it go is probably going to be the way. Another time bank used,
Wow,
though. Let's
okay.
think about this one a little bit more. 2 of them burnt of the 6 that he has, so that may become a factor later on as he's actually counting out those pinks. Surely we're not going to see a jam here. That would be absolutely suicidal, blocking the boats. I don't think that's even an option. He's just seeing exactly how much of his stack is going to
He's
be.
definitely
See,
not
I
jamming.
think
I
the
think
other
a
part of
call's
it
the only
is
thing you
you
can
don't
get.
want to be giving the chip leader any more chips.
No.
Like, and this is a spot where you could potentially be giving up another 875k to the chip leader. And that's probably he throws in
Yeah,
another time
you
bank.
can
He's
see-
going deep into the tank here, Jordan.
Yeah, you can see the shake of the head. You can see that he just doesn't believe there's going to be enough value that checks back the turn. And Jimmy's played this really well. He recognizes that
agreed.
he's turned probably the best hand almost always, especially on a board that didn't get check raised. And so Patrick is in a world of pain. He also probably thinks that he's got the ace in his hand, blocking some of those ace kings,
Yep.
but may be barreling turn. He's going to flick in the call, and
Wow.
Jimmy is going to get even richer. 27 million chips. And now, boys, he is well over 1/3 of all of the chips in play with 8 players
crazy.
remaining.
Yeah, good shout and well commentated by yourself there, Jordan.
Thank you very
Absolutely
much.
unbelievable. Yeah, I didn't expect him to make the call there. I know he only bet out, just sub of half pot with that 875, but you really don't want to be giving up any more chips to Jimmy. I mean, Jimmy's got basically a stranglehold on this final and feature table of this 2.5K.
I kind of
with
thought he was going to
107
make the
bigs.
call.
Yeah, really?
I just didn't want to say anything. You both were saying he was
I
going to
think the
call.
thing is, I think the
No.
thing-
The only reason I'll say that is I think the Queen pairing on the river is actually a detrimental card for him, to be honest.
I agree with that. I think that's a fair call. I think the other thing is he only bet one big on the flop too, at 250K. He checks back the turn when the clubs come in, and then he fires out 875.
Very,
I
very
think-
trickily
I think it's,
paid.
I think
right?
it's, I think it's very different if the board doesn't pair.
So obviously a very good bet by Jimmy in the end gets paid off. So
Yeah.
the 875 probably right in the top of the value.
Well, 875 plus a remainder takes it up to 27 million, good for 107 Justins, as we like to say around here.
Yep.
Getting a look up top, it looks like we are going to have Chris Lee on the button in this one. Obviously 15 bigs, he may have a decision to make, or excuse me, he's on the cutoff now. The button has moved along. He's going to have a decision to make. Princess in the big blind in the next hand with 15. So could have some potential questions asked whether or not we want to be wagering all of it. Troy looks like he's going to want to come along with the King Jack offsuit. Always exciting to see the twins in the mix.
It is very
Yeah,
much so.
100%.
Play
Good
very,
boys
very well.
too.
Yeah,
I don't know
they're,
if
they're
you've
lovely kids. I don't know if you've had.
time with them.
Yeah, they're really good, really knowledgeable at the game. The way they think and talk about the game is incredible. I'm assuming their mum, what was her name again?
Kerry, I believe.
Carrie?
Lucy?
Lucy.
Lucy Sweet.
Lucy.
Yes.
Lucy.
Pardon me.
Yeah,
Lucy.
Lucy's.
Yeah.
She always watches them on stream, and she's their biggest advocate.
I guarantee you she's watching this
Yeah.
one.
Well, last year when it was kind of their coming out party as far as becoming names in the Australian poker scene, the opening event being won by one of the brothers. I always get mixed up who won which, and then the Jack Star winning the other. Lucy was in the chat the entire time, chatting to us, cheering them on, and it was absolutely fantastic to see. So it's really cool to see them continuing, and it looks like they've got a bit of a crew around them. We saw the not sure if guys, excuse me, in the fantasy. So all of them collectively wearing those not sure if GG poker shirts. You
Right,
might have seen them
okay.
getting
Haven't seen
around.
one of them
So,
yet.
yeah,
Good.
oh, you'll see them. It's high quality. Not as high quality as these, but it's pretty high quality as we're going to see the Queen 6-4 flop. The 5-3 comes along and flops itself an
Jimmy.
open ender.
He's getting himself involved in it. But
You
I mean,
gotta
it's
love
actually
that.
kind of a flop for a little bit of everyone. Patrick's got the backdoor straight and flush. Jimmy's got the open ender, and Troy's got pretty much gut shot with the overcard.
Yeah, he's wrapped around that queen.
Yeah.
Definitely some future potential, but it could be the type of pot where if he sees a hand like the ace-8 suited or the ace-9 suited, find the flat in the small blind, and could maybe force a fold, but decides just to check, see what's up on the turn. And what is up on the turn is the 10 of clubs. So he
This
turns
one
himself an
action
open
card.
ender. Pair for Patrick. Jimmy in the middle of nowhere. He's got 19%. Still got that open ender, but with 3 clubs out there. Not going to be loving it too much. But maybe he feels like nobody else wants to take claim to it.
Well, as you said before, these are the two middling stacks.
Yep.
I mean, you might want to
Yeah.
just throw a bet out there and see if you can, get a bit of pressure on these guys as well.
Comes with 625k, good for 1/3 pot roughly. Troy with that open ender, a little bit handcuffed. He'd obviously continue with a club, but without, maybe he feels like he's just not doing too well in this spot.
Because he can actually think, even if he hits the open ender, a good chance it's a club and he's drawing dead regardless.
Yep.
So I think this bet's actually going to get through, get it done.
Yeah, I don't think Troy's going to come along for 625k. Even though he's got 40 bigs, I mean, he could potentially peel one off, but I think he does find the fold. But as I say
Right,
that, there it is.
yep,
He's going to peel it off.
I think the price that he's getting on the turn is a little bit too good.
It's probably, that's probably a fair call too.
Yeah. And plus, that's also taking into account if he feels like Jimmy is going to fire off another shell on the river. If he believes that Jimmy, the chip leader, is just getting a little bit out of line, speeding just a little
Sure.
bit, maybe he can put the call in, and if he gets checked to on the river when it bricks like this one does, maybe we're going to see him pick this one up.
I think in that last situation when Troy made the call there, he did have Patrick to act there after him. Do you know what I mean? So he's kind of in the squeeze a little bit, and the last thing you want to do there is make the call there, and then Patrick comes in for a raise,
This is
and you
a
have to get
great
rid of
bet.
it.
Ooh,
He
we
knew,
are going to go
he knew that
for
if he
it.
was going to bet
Go
that turn and miss, he had to fire the river.
Yep.
Now we can see the cards. We know it's probably going to get through.
gonna
Which
get-
it will.
it does get through.
That is a great bet for Jimmy. Like he
Wow.
knew what he was going to do. Even if he didn't hit, he knew he had to fire it.
Tell you what, that's some power poker right there, Berkey.
Pretty
well
impressive watching him take this table on. Question from Brandon Gray. George, where would you want to be seated at this table? That's a fantastic question.
Great.
I'll tell you what, I'll take the empty seat because that means I'm still there.
Yeah, and locked up 29,000.
Yeah, locked up
yeah.
29,000.
Typically, you would like to be in position of the chip leader so that you're not put in the absolute blender anytime you make an action. So instantaneously, my first reaction would be seat 2. However, I can definitely make thoughts about maybe sitting where Chris is sitting. You got position on Troy, Hui, and Peter, all of which are middling stacks. So you know that whenever Jimmy isn't in the pot, you're probably going to be able to use some firepower against those guys and maybe put them in some tough spots along the way as well.
Yeah, great
so
shout.
for me, I'd probably take seat 2 or seat 6. Gents, what about yourselves?
I think that's spot on. I'd actually take exactly those 2 seats.
Yep.
So I agree with you 100%.
I'd actually prefer seat 3 because not only am I sitting behind the chip leader, I'm sitting behind the short stack who I can also put pressure on.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah, that's
Good
a
shout
good
as
case
well.
for that. Yep.
Peter with the ace-10 offsuit's going to come with a raise from under the gun, and this is that moment. Princess with 15 big blinds in the big blind. See whether or not she is going to wake up with anything to be able to fight back with against this under the gun raise. Chris first, though. Our next shortest with 3.7 million himself. Action is on him currently. King Queen suited for 15 big blinds.
Yeah.
Questions have to be asked. Is this going to be good enough to go with?
I think you have to rip this.
Yeah. Are we going to see our man in the sunglasses request the triangle?
I actually just prefer a click here.
Well, he does find the fold there with the King Queen. Okay.
And that is probably because of the 15 big blind stack in the big blind as well. It's interesting, given how timings go, if these guys do blind down, as we see ace-5 suited is what she's actually going to wake up with, which I feel like is going to be a very fine defend. But depending on what time of the blinds go up relative to where these guys are seated, I'm curious which one is going to be forced all in first.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great
So
shout.
with the blinds going up in roughly half an hour's time, I wonder whether or not Princess is going to be forced all in first. If she is, Chris can just chill.
Yeah, I'm usually not panicking too much until I'm sub 10 big blinds,
Yep.
usually when I'm in these tournaments. I talk that about that experience, like I make final tables all the time. I study final tables a lot. I don't get to them too much because I don't play it that often anymore. But 15 bigs is still plenty to work around. You don't have to make too many moves, and you kind of fill out the table and let Jimmy Chen do his job and put pressure on middling stacks as well.
Princess is going to come along from the big blind, a standard defend with the ace-5 suited. To the flop we go. And she's going to locate herself a
Jeez, have a list
gigantic
of
flop here. Middle pair, nut flush draw against the 2 overs. Peter only drawing to 2 outs. Obviously, that 10 of clubs is up there, but not illuminated, meaning another player at this table has folded it, as our RFID system takes into account folded cards from other players. She's going to check it over. And what do you reckon we're going to see from Peter here?
You always have to see about this under the gun, especially when big blind defends. Even though when the big blind defends, this hits their range a bit more, but you have to put the bet in. So I'm almost going to imagine a bet, and I'd almost just like to see a jam to realize her equity.
Yeah, I think she's in a position here where, like 100% of the time, I think she knows she's good. Combinatorically, she shouldn't be behind very often here. And even if she is, she's got so much equity in this hand, with obviously the nut flush draw and a pair already. So I'd like her actually to just flat and peel off the turn.
It's
and
one of
go
those,
from there.
Yeah, it's one of those spots where if the opponent has something like 10s, jacks, queens, she's probably still flipping
She is.
with
That
the
would-
with the
100%.
with the 17 outs that she's going to have, given any 5 heart or ace. Looks like she is going to come with flat, so nice read there, Monkey.
Really, really like this play by her, and hopefully she gets rewarded for it. The turn card brings the 6 of diamonds, no help to Peter.
Yeah, I don't think it's a card that's going to change anything too often in Peter's shoes. As the under the gun player, he shouldn't really be opening many of those 7-8 suited, 5-6 suited type holdings. You're just going to get yourselves in a world of pain. So I wonder if now that he's been called on the flop, if we are going to see him continue, or if we're going to slow down and see things to a river.
I think he needs to shut down on this particular turn after betting 650 on the flop. Obviously, it's a C-bet, but it looks like he's going to go all for it. It looks like he's going to rip it. Wow, what a play.
Jam. This is very confident poker from Peter Stott. Obviously, with that ace of spades and with the 10, he's blocking 10s. He's blocking the over pair of the aces as well. And he also blocks some of those ace-9 suiteds as well, if they want to think about that. But he is not... and the 10 of hearts blocks some of the flush draws that could be out there as well, though a lot of them are going to be check raise going with it on the flop. Time bank use, I will say, boys, given our Princess has played so far, can't see a call being made here.
This is why I was exactly alluding to is why you need to jam on that flop. If a brick comes out and you get jammed into, you're losing all the equity of the flop you've just made.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very good point, Berkey. I mean, if she did jam it on the flop there, obviously Peter gets out of the way. She is in the tank here, so she hasn't made up her mind on what to do yet.
Even if she gets called on the flop, she's still realizing all her equity by getting her chips in the middle when she's got a pair and a draw. Now, as I was going to say, is if a brick comes out like the 6 of diamonds, which is an absolute brick, and your opponent jams into you, you've like lost all your equity because you made the bet and then you've made the call, and now you're not realizing anything and you're shortening your stack.
You got to remember, she started this hand with 3.7 million, 15 bigs. She's now down to 9.1 bigs or 2.3 million. It's a pretty good spot, to be fair. I mean, I know that she has a pair and she's got the nut flush draw, but it's a pretty good spot actually here to potentially put your tournament life on the line. You shouldn't be dead very often, and if you are, you're still a chance, obviously, with the hearts coming in. So, and you'd probably think that a 5 is good too, and potentially an ace. So, I don't, blame her for taking some time here to make a decision for a tournament life. Yeah. But I'd like to see her flicking a call, despite the fact that we can see the cards.
As a friend of mine would say, it really becomes down to a math equation. Are we getting the odds
Correct.
to put the call in against the perceived range your opponent's got? If he's got kings, queens, tens, jacks, are we getting the number that we need to get to make this a profitable call? To be honest, I don't think we are. I think it's a little bit outside the realms of it, obviously, if we have every heart. So 9 hearts, 2 5s, and 3 aces being, 14 outs. Is that going to be enough once on the river? Need roughly 30% equity. Do we have it? It's close.
It's close, isn't it? It's very close, actually. I think it's almost like spot on.
Yep.
Hence the reason for why she's chucking in another time bank here, Jordan. So deep into the tank.
Has to call 2.3 million to win a pot worth about 7 in total. So she's doing the numbers in her head. The chips are being rippled and thought with.
30%.
Yeah.
To be fair. I think she flicks in a call here. I mean, I would, but this is where usually I make the wrong decision and whatever, but I would love to see her chuck it in. As we can see, 94% equity here.
There you go.
And
she
does
chuck it in. That's
a
great call. She's going to be ecstatic to see Peter's hand. Needs to find a 10 ball only for Pete.
94% of the time she is, not the 10 of hearts, 94% of the time she's going to find a full double up here. Let's see if the river, there was 10 dead, so 2 outs once. Is this her moment, or is she going to be the victim of quite a nefarious headline with the 10 on the end? Let's see what the river brings. It's the 4 of clubs, the full double delivered to seat number 2, Xiaofeng Dong, up to 7.225 million, the most chips she has had at any point in this tournament. And Mr. Stott slides down to 21 big blinds.
Well, you were talking about before how she's been extremely patient. Sometimes the extreme patience can pay off. Like, she wasn't getting down 2 short stacks. She had 15 bigs, but the full double up there for Princess up at 29 bigs. Patience pays off sometimes for these players. Hyper-aggression sometimes pays off, but it seems to, her style of play seems to work for her.
We're talking about almost like, what is it, like 10 times the difference between the money for 8th and like 1st. 10 times the difference. So
ridiculous.
That's a very ballsy call, and she's made a very good one there and been rewarded all the way. So hats off to her. She's played a phenomenal hand there. I like the flat on the flop, personally. I know that Berkey made a case for jamming it on the flop there and just realising your equity and trying to take it down there. But I think she got, obviously, she got the maximum there.
The
so
fact that she got
it.
put under the pump, a lot of players there do fault that
That's
situation.
true. That's very true.
Yeah, so now she's back to play, back to how she actually plays, and made the right call. A lot of players, even when they get in these positions, especially for a lot of money, they like to set up hands like this, but just don't have that trigger to pull it.
I think also too, Jordan, and a good point too from you, Berkey, but I think a good point that you made before, Jordan, was that she probably calculated how many total outs she had and figured out what her equity would be in the hand.
Absolutely.
And she's happy to run it, because she was getting the right price, and that was probably a contributing factor to making that call there.
This will be very different now for Chris Lee, now that he is the short stack and he's waking up with the hand.
Good shout.
Well, that's what I was about to say, boys. Off the back of that hand, 2 people's strategies have changed quite a lot. Chris, now the clear shorty, doesn't really have any big ICM things to worry about being equal and trying to get that page up. He's the shortest. He can just go for it. And also, looking up at the chip counts along the top, Jimmy is going to recognize that everybody's pretty level.
Correct.
He can start to go a little bit ballistic if he wants to put pressure on all these guys. Troy is going to hate it. Dao Wu is going to hate it. These guys can't bust until that man on screen waiting to act is out of this one. Otherwise, they're potentially going to be making some pretty big ICM blunders. Looks like we're going to see an NAI here, an all-in open from Chris. Looks like we're going to see an open to what looks to be 575.
Jordan, if you don't mind, could you tell me what their chip denominations are? Because,
I was just about to ask.
I think the pinks are like 500, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So the red chips, or the cherries, as I like to call them, those
Perfect.
are worth 25k each. The green avocados are 100k, and those lovely peaches, 500,000 a piece.
Right, there you
Not
go.
sure if we're going to see the implementation of any 1 million chips, but when we do, I'm sure the TD will let us know. Over to Patrick with the ace 3 of diamonds.
Quite an interesting colour, actually, for the 500s, considering the cherries are so close to each other. You know what I mean? You got these 25k chips, and then you got these $500,000s that are pretty similar in colour.
It's actually funny because on the screen it actually looks a lot different than it does live.
Obviously,
Yeah, because they're really clear live now. I know what they've done, but sometimes you can't. But look, I think they're
pretty. Don't get me wrong, they're
yeah.
very pretty.
Oh,
I
yeah.
do like the cherry reds.
Oh, yeah.
They
the
are.
reds
That's
are
a really
absolutely
nice colour.
delicious. And on that note, earlier this year in this exact venue, as we do see the fold from 3 off suit, there was a change that was made. I think I mentioned this to you boys earlier. The AV crew that was here
Yep.
got swapped over for another one, and all the lights that were in this venue got taken out and changed for fluorescence.
Oh,
So we
right.
had a bar running directly above with a camera to be able to capture stuff. Those fluorescents were casting a shadow down onto the table from that bar. Looked terrible. Had to add the lights in, so everything's a little bit slightly off.
So everybody looks a little bit vitamin D deficient. Yeah?
just a little bit.
Yeah, okay, fair
Everybody's a vampire in here at Southport Sharks. Loving
Fair
it.
enough.
Yeah, it's a funny thing. I wouldn't want to see what it looks like if we walked out there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm so white you can see
Mate,
my heart beating
these
through my
jumpers
chest.
would go fluorescent on the
They
screen.
probably would. It's a fair point.
We did have a question earlier on from Joseph asking any early indications of the dates for this event. You can pretty much guarantee that the APL Million is always going to be held from around the 14th of August through to the end, if not the 1st of September. You can pretty confidently lock that into your calendar. Talking about vampires, and looks like they haven't seen the sun for ages. Any kind of interest in getting to the Beach Boys?
Oh,
Beaches
no,
on the Gold
no,
Coast,
no.
lovely.
Well, I'm actually staying with Berkey's wife and obviously Berkey up here. She made a comment to go down to the beach today, and I said, look, not really interested in getting a... some people call it a tan. I call it just third-degree burns. Every single time I go down to the beach, somehow I always get burnt.
It's a tan if you're consistent. It's a burn if you only go once a year. You know?
I've got that white Australian sort of Captain Cook skin, and so I go down to the beach, and it's just absolutely showers for me.
So you got the skin where you just know your ancestors stole a loaf of bread at some point
That's-
and you got shipped on a boat out
That's
here.
actually
That-
exactly
that
how we
is-
came here. Yeah,
That is my
spot on.
ancestors.
Good read.
That
What a
is
soul
my
read.
ancestors.
Getting a look at the action. Jimmy with the ace-4 offsuit's going to find a flat in the cutoff. That's a bit wide. One of those hands where as the chip leader, you'd much prefer to be taking it as a 3-bet instead of just a call. Peter, ace-4 offsuit of his own in the small blind, as all the aces are actually out of this one. We can see all 4 suits of them along the left side of the screen.
Well, we know which hand's going to win this one. The ace deuce, yeah? Has to be.
Obviously, has
Yeah.
to be. Diamonds are a lady's best friend, and Hui Liang is going to be thinking about that one closely. How many for the Jackstar so far? Last I checked, we were over 1250, nearing 1300.
No, it was over
we were over
1300.
13
Yeah,
when we
13.
got
I
here,
think it was
so-
like 13, 16
Oh,
or something like that.
That's
crazy.
ridiculous.
With like people still queuing up. And
Yeah,
stuff. It was like out of
crazy.
control.
I heard that they've gotten through a lot of the alternates. Things have been moving as quickly as they possibly could. I heard alternate 630 mentioned.
Jeez.
So pretty ridiculous amounts of numbers.
I
As
think
you
I
said
heard
it,
alternate
ace deuce of
900.
diamonds. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Alternate 900? That's crazy. As you said it, ace deuce of diamonds is always winning this hand, huh? 2 diamonds on the flop. Patrick with a gut shot to Broadway, and Jimmy's just there for the ride. You know?
Yeah, he's
along
just there for the
vibe.
ride.
Yeah, the problem with Patrick is he's also got the Queen of Diamonds, which could be a bit of an indication to continue on along with that gut shot straight draw.
Now, when
So-
you guys are in the booth and you're calling comms, do you ever get that little kind of demon in the back of your mind that calls for the 10 of diamonds? And
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
all the time.
No, we don't.
Yeah, all the
we just
time.
have it in the back of the head. We say it out loud. it's,
I'd love to see the 10 of diamonds on the turn. Yeah. And believe it or not, it comes quite often. Here comes the turn big.
Oh, I was thinking if it happened just then, we might have blown the mics
Yeah,
out,
that's it.
redlining everything. 8 of clubs on the turn as this ace queen's still good, but I think whoever fires out is probably going to be the one to take it away over to Patrick with that ace queen. Is he going to want to fire a delay bet out there? A little bit worrying with Jimmy behind, doesn't really want to get pounced upon by the chip leader. Going to give it a little bit of thought. Feel a jacket.
How sick would it be if Jimmy just checks back here and the 4 just peels off, yeah?
Are you going to will it into existence for us?
Yeah, I think so. I'd love to see the 4 and like the ace 4 just get there for Jimmy. Just goes to show. He's going to check it behind here, so can he find the 4 ball?
Offsuit 4 in the end.
Almost.
Four of
The four
diamonds.
diamonds.
Four,
Oh, my
though.
God. It was
That's
the
very
two-side
cheeky.
diamond, however. That gives Hui Yang here the old nut flush. And so he's going to be first to act here, Jordan. I'd like to see him come out and make a decent bet. You can go either way here, bet for value.
The issue that I think he might have sitting in this seed is that nobody's put any
Bet any
chips in.
chips in. Yeah, I agree.
So how much are we going to get paid? Looks like he's going to reach for what looks to be 1.1 million.
Yeah.
Which, to be honest, given no chips went in at any point, I don't think he's going to get paid.
Yeah, I like just flicking in, honestly. I like
Small.
flicking in like two bigs
Yeah,
here.
two bigs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
two and a
Try
half, even
get
three
a
bigs
crying call
max,
from an
you
ace
know.
high or something like that, or even Jimmy with a pair
Patrick's
of
going to get out of
fours.
the way with a nut no pair. And to Jimmy, who's actually hit that 4 that we called for. But unfortunately for him, it was in the diamond variety. So Hui is going to make the nut flush, and Jimmy's going to take his sunglasses off and go for a squeeze.
Sometimes he takes the mask off as well, so
Oh, does he?
he's got moves to the level of
it's-
thinking that he does.
Okay.
I think he's staring him down too, making him know that he's staring at him.
A little bit of a baccarat squeeze there too, Jordan,
Yeah.
just quietly, if you noticed that from the old body language.
Yeah, the old two-side, no side.
Yeah, you noticed that.
Got to get things going as he is going to pass it up. Nice disciplined fold there. No use putting chips in. Excuse me, voice crack. Hello there. No use putting chips in and giving any biscuits back that you've accumulated yourself. You've got the menu, I like to say there.
Yeah.
What are we looking at?
Well, just because I'm trying to figure out when I'm coming in to fire the main event.
Yeah.
I did-
Tomorrow, Wet and Wild, and then
Yeah,
firing
I'm
on Thursday.
I'm thinking
or
it
what?
is because it's actually a good time tomorrow, 6
Yeah.
p.m.
Tomorrow is an amazing day to go to Wet and Wild because the Jackstar in the morning, every table in the venue is pure Jackstar.
Right, okay,
So the
fair
main
enough.
event starts at 6 p.m. tomorrow night. Word of warning, you're going to be bagging up around 3:30.
Right, so it's a late one, but
Late
that's
one.
fine.
Right,
Who
late
cares?
flight.
That's
That's right on
fine.
my Kirsty those times.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm awake till that time every day anyway, so it never really changes.
Yeah, I do that on my day off. Yeah.
No wonder by the time you wake up, you can't go to the beach. It's already
Yeah.
nighttime.
That's true too.
Well, that's why
well
when I woke
said.
up this morning, I didn't actually get much sleep last night. And then I woke up, I set the alarm, and then I saw the video, and I was like, nah.
Nah, back to sleep.
Now,
No.
Jordan, I have to ask you a little bit of a personal question here.
Uh-oh.
I can see in the commentary booth here, you got
Oh,
the
dear.
old bottles of the, 1.5 litre Mount Franklins. I do have to ask, over the 14 hours that basically you're going to be here in the commentary booth, how many of those bad boys do you get through?
I get through 2 of these, but usually I'm
Just a day.
in just a day. Yeah,
Right, okay.
I'm a big water drinker. Yeah,
Right, okay.
But I always forget to do it. So by the time I get home of the night, there's a convenience store open below the mansion that I'm staying at. 2 for 7, done.
Oh,
lock it in.
Steal.
Easy.
2 for 7.
Yeah. So yep. Just
Shouldn't
grab
even be
those
looking
on
at
the way out.
prices. You've already shipped the tournament, just paid.
Yeah, I should be handing it to you.
No,
Didn't
no,
you
no,
just
no.
win a couple of days ago?
Those are the beers.
Oh,
the
yeah,
waters,
fair
the
enough,
waters
yeah.
I'm thinking about. The beers I'm not. 9s for Peter here on the button. 19
Oh, here we
bigs
go.
as we are going to have a confrontation. Hui Yang, 31 big blinds. Obviously has to worry a little bit about Troy behind in the big himself, but Peter with 19. We saw him open rip earlier with, I believe it was 6s for this amount. I wonder if we're going to see him do it. No, just 500, utilizing one of those peaches. They're not in Georgia. They're in front of his stack right now, and we're going to see what Hui Yang chooses to do here with the ace king of his own.
Puts out one of those Justin Biebers, yeah?
Justin Bieber's, yep.
Yeah, the old peaches, yeah?
Got to do it.
Yeah. I know my daughter back at home will probably appreciate that one. So puts out the old 500 here.
Is Troy going to wake up with anything? No, but he does kill a 9.
He does
so that
kill a
could
9.
become a factor if an ace high flop appears. Time bank utilized. Do we find the triangle ourselves, or do we take it to around 1.7 million? Those are the questions in Hui Yang's mind right now.
Yeah, I think like 1.7 is probably pretty close to the mark, actually. I kind of like that 1.7 to like 1.9 mil, give or take.
I like
kind of range.
I like a bigger raise. You're out of position. You've been raised. You've got a premium hand.
What are you thinking, like 2?
I'm
No, he's
big.
gonna
I'm big
rip
as
it.
big.
Looks like
Yeah.
he rips it there. You can see that from the old, if you're reading his mouth.
Snaps it off.
Snaps it off.
And we are going to see all 5. Peter all in and at risk with these 9s against the big slick. It's Hui Yang who is going to come out victorious. Are we going to be down to 7? Or is the man with the Master's hat going to locate a masterful run out and stay alive in this one? 8.9 million in the middle. It's going to be a little bit more than that. I'm getting the phone call for some reason.
Call Centurion final table. Peter is at
So
risk.
9's here, Ace King, Jordan, like you said before. And the Master's hat doing some justice here.
Let's see what happens. We've got Steven cheering on Hui. Let's see who comes out victorious. 4 window ace,
Oh,
10
ace four.
behind.
The
The
problem
other
is
one
one of
out
the
too.
9s was folded
Yeah,
as
the
well,
other one
so
out.
needs some help.
geez, close. Looked good,
Yeah,
didn't
looked
it?
good.
Not quite enough.
Going to need
though,
to
the
locate
diamonds.
a 4-side, a heart or spade, whichever is left. Can he do it? Oh, it's a 3-side spade. And with that, we will say GG's. That number, a little bit inaccurate. We've got to flip those ones around as, of course, as soon as we're getting the Centurion payouts, that payout glitch occurs. But 8th position, taking home $35,000. GG's, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much for taking part, and congratulations on the result. $35,000 richer.
Yeah, well played from Peter, to be fair. Did take his 9s and the best hand to that flop there, but unfortunately, Ace King gets it done.
I did like the jam. Yeah, if you're going to be out of position, you'd rather just...
Now, Jordan, I do want to give you a little bit of a shout out, and obviously to Berkey as well, for allowing us to come in here and enjoy the dulcet tones of yourself and calling the action. So thank you very much for having us in here.
Thank you so much for taking the time as well. Thanks for coming up, boys. It was a pleasure. We originally had half an hour allotted, but I had a cancellation, so we've extended it to about an hour.
Whatever you want to do,
Yeah,
man.
man.
We're here for as
Having a
long as
great
you want us
time.
to be here.
We've got a couple of guys that are bagging up the Jackstar in the background at the moment. That
Sure.
told me they wanted to come in and chat. Gohan Lee's one of them. Finished in 10th in this
Yeah,
one. Wanted
he
to
did,
come in
yeah.
and get a little bit revenge by way of the microphone.
I
So
love that.
We're going to have that one popping up shortly. We might go over one more hand. Then we'll say our goodbyes, gentlemen, and then we'll be on our way. So the King Jack suited for Diao Wu. What are we going to see from him here? 500k, a peach utilized. Where's Patrick going to do with 27 bigs and natural 9 suited?
I love that, Jordan. I love this. The old Baccarat references coming in. We do like to do a few Baccarat references because we know a lot of players that also like to pull up some Baccarat.
You mean like us?
Well, yeah, a little
Come
bit
on,
like
Monkey,
us, but
let's-
there's plenty of players out there too. That
It's
don't
a bit
like
early
the
for that.
It looks like he's got to come in for a 3-bet here for 1.4 million and does. Round down to Jimmy with the Queen 10 offsuit in the hijack. Facing that 3-bet to 1.4. I think this goes straight into the muck.
Yeah, I can't see him sticking around, especially against gun 1 3-bet. It's a very, very tight selection of ranges. In fact, ace 8 suited, I must say, it's a pretty wide 3-bet in this dynamic. Going to be interesting to see if anybody behind wakes up with anything. A hand like ace queen suited will be absolutely blended in this spot.
Yeah.
I'm sure if we are going to see that. Obviously, Xiao Fang with the 9-7 suited. Another natural 9, but this one's an easy decision being made.
Another natural 9.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are
These
playing
are
in one
everywhere, aren't
corner.
they?
And Xiao Fang actually had the half price on 6 too, the 9-7 suited in the spade. So Baccarat references all over the place. Troy Sweet's going to get out of the way. Round 2, Chris Lee. In the big blind, 10-4 off.
Yeah, still
Please,
a short stack over and out, I like to say, for the 10-4.
over and out, very good.
Back over to the King Jack suited. What are we going to see?
I mean, you're such an uncomfortable spot. I mean, it is a raise,
Yeah.
but it is a raise fold contended.
Yeah.
Especially for when the +1 is the one that's raising you. Very, very, very interesting from Patrick, but I'll tell you what, it gets the job done, takes it down, and adds to his stack.
Certainly
Look
does.
at just quietly. I mean, I can't even get my head around this. Have a look at the prize pool for this event. Like
Yeah.
1.7 million. They're
So-
just short of $400,000 up top.
The
Like,
thing
just-
is, even if you're coming
it's
fourth, you're hitting a 6-figure
It's,
score.
like, it's just ridiculous how big it is up here. Southport Sharks, obviously, the APL Million 2026. It is unreal out here. Honestly, when we walked in today earlier, Jordan, about, I don't know, an hour ago, give or take, it was just like a madhouse in
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
I mean, they might as well put up the tables in the bathrooms. I mean, there's so many players and people obviously waiting for a seat for that Jackstar as well. So when they've got over 1,300 runners into the Jackstar and like 200 people waiting, it's just a mental asylum in here for people who love poker. And obviously the APL guys are putting on a clinic
Yep.
out here at the Southport Sharks, as they do every year.
Chatting to Joel and some of the other guys in
Yeah,
charge
big
mentioned
shout
that
out.
they reckon that 40% of the field arrived on Centurion day 1. And I've definitely seen that that's the case. I mean, so many people have arrived. People have shown up that I haven't seen since last year from nowhere, seemingly to play the Centurion Jackstar main event combo. And it really is evident every man and his dog is in that room right now.
Yeah,
It's insane.
agree with
It's
more.
insane to see.
I like this raise from Jimmy with the best hand. This is my favourite hand, obviously. Jack 10 suited.
Lovely.
In the clubs is my favourite hand, but he's got it in the spades here. He's going to pop it up under the gun +1 to half a mil. Can he get any action? Chris is going to fold from the small blind back round to Dayu Wu.
Dayu Wu. and
Dayu,
he
is that
gonna-
it? Dayu Wu?
Works for me. And with that, boys, unfortunately, our time is going to have
Mate,
to come
that
to an
is
end. But
Fine.
It's absolutely fine. We're very happy to come in and call the action.
Big shout outs also just quietly to everybody who's in the chat.
Yeah.
We were following the action earlier, and you've got some pretty big numbers coming off
Oh,
here
yeah.
at the moment, Jordan. So shout outs to everybody in the chat for their questions and obviously following along with Jordan. It's been a pleasure. And thank you very much.
Thank you
for
very
having
much.
us.
Before you
appreciate
guys
it,
jet
Navas.
off, give yourselves one last plug. Where can we find you on the socials?
Right.
So that all these guys can follow your lovely voices around the Australian poker scene.
No problems. On Facebook, we are You Can't Make It Up Commentary. You can look that up. Just go to the search bar and look up You Can't Make It Up Commentary. And then on Instagram, we are YCMIU, which is the acronym for You Can't Make It Up, with the commentary next to it. You can just like and subscribe there. And if you like any of the merch, or you want to buy some You Can't Make It Up merchandise, ycmiu.com.au. That's us.
Monkey, Berkey, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. And
Pleasure
best
as
of
always.
luck for the main event and best of luck at Wet n Wild.
I'm
Thank
hoping,
you very
I'm
much,
hoping you're
Jordan.
out there calling me soon enough.
Thank you
Fingers
very
crossed,
much,
boys.
Jordan.
Thank you
Pleasure.
very much.
Go.
Alright, dealers in the jumpstart, dealers in the jumpstart, up to your hand program. Please deal 6 small hands. Dealers up 6 hands, this will be the follow, 6 hands of the block. Up to your hand program, dealers, please deal 6 small hands. Alright, players, up to the 6 hands will be completed. We're going to be wrapping up this evening. We're going to do this as quickly and as efficiently as possible. Dealers, as soon as your table has finished the 6 hands, please show us the preparation box. Players, there is some information on the back of you. We need your full name, your full chip count. You can write the Jackstar Super High Roller on there. Please seal your bag and leave it with your chair. Be complete. We return tomorrow at day 2.
Right up.
Dealers, just to reiterate, in this chapter, this is the final 6 hands. Please deal the last 6 hands on the flight. Players, again, one you got your chairs with the full name, full chip count on the back. Jackstar Super High Roller. No other information is necessary. Full name, full chip count. And total you're playing in. You'll seal your bag. You're leaving, you'll see at your return tomorrow at 11 a.m. with photo ID for day 2.
Welcome back to our coverage of the Centurion final table, and the voice you're hearing right now is media man Chris Waddy jumping in courtesy of Jordan. Happy to let me come in and give a quick spiel about the Jackstar, which is backing up behind this final table as we speak. You can see there the tables filling the whole room, the side room and the overview room. Nearly 80 tables in play, currently about to cease up for the night. They've been playing since 3 p.m. and this field number is purely insane. Last check, over 1,400 runners. For reference, last year's day one took in 1,283 entries. So 1,410-ish is the number thereabouts. Now, bear in mind, there are some players that have purchased tickets that haven't cashed them in yet. Some people are still at home. I think there's a player or two at this final table even that got their spot in line sorted for if they were eliminated from the Centurion final table. So if play continues, they may look to get that refunded. So that entry count is going to waver up and down, but at this stage it does look record breaking. We could creep up toward that $2 million prize pool count tomorrow. Play will begin at 11 a.m. and registrations will close at 11:40 a.m. So your last chance to get yourself into that Jackstar Super High Roller field, what looks to be record breaking, will be tomorrow, 11:40 a.m. here at Southport.
Amazing. Chris, thank you so much for the update. How are you going? Are you all right? It's been a very long day.
It's been a quiet day on the media front because it has all just been about the Jackstar. So I've been running around grabbing racks, seeding cards, helping seed alternates, getting some photos in and around the play, and I'll edit those later, so there'll be some more content to go up tonight. But I've been good. I really enjoyed the vibe of the room. The alternates queue, although the numbers have seemed really high, at most, at any given point, we weren't looking at more than 20 or 30 physical people up the back of the room in a line. In previous years,
The place was chockers, yeah.
You couldn't walk out the door without having to brush past 100 or 200 people. So kudos to the dealers. I want to really say right now, massive shout out to all the dealers. They've worked a massive shift today. All the floor staff that have been on the ball, catching every all in and bust and helping get those alternates seated as quick as possible. Corey Bell up the back of the room. I don't know how he still has his voice, calling out the alternates non-stop the entire day. So just a massive shout out to the staff. And if you do happen to be in here tomorrow, give them a little thank you. Tap your dealer on the back. Just a smile or a little bit of encouragement goes a long way for these guys who, those that have not been shy in sharing their criticism with this specific tournament in the past. I think anyone that was here today will have seen a huge improvement, and that shows, like, considering we almost seated today the number of total entries that we got last year. So that's enough in itself, and I just want to thank you guys for letting me give that quick update, and I'll let you get back to the action.
Amazing, Chris. Thank you so much. Go home, get yourself a decent rest. Tomorrow's going to be a very long one as well. Really appreciate you taking the time to come in here and give us that update. Now that he's gone, let's have some fun. No, I'm kidding, Chris. You're great. With that, I've got somebody with me in the booth. Obviously, I'd love to have him sitting at the table. I was cheering for the cards, mate. Don't you worry. We've got Mr. Top Gun with the aviators himself.
Unbiased commentary, eh?
Mate, I can't be unbiased when we've got mates that I want to see win this event in the table. Johan Lees, what's it like being here? Obviously, you'd rather be there, but
yeah, it's a bit surreal watching it now, but yeah, long, exhausting day, but fun day of cards.
Must be tough under those lights, man. I'm sorry, I didn't realize how brutal it was going to be.
Yeah, those sunnies came in handy for sure. It is super bright there, and the seat 6 that I was in, you just look at the bright lights.
Yep. And he jumped straight into the Jackstar, no rest for the wicked. How'd we end up in the first couple of levels that you played?
Just a nice little 2x.
Oh, nice.
So,
good start.
Yeah. Usually it's recipe for disaster to jump into another tournament for half an hour after just busting it deep, but went okay. Yeah.
All right, so getting a look at this table, you were at the table next to Troy for a large number of today's play. You're sitting here with threes. Is there anything else you can give us any info on these other guys that you're seeing in this one? Some of them at the feature table less so than others. We don't know much about Diao Wu. Don't know too much about Hui Liang. So.
Oh, well, I can tell you about Hui Liang. Maybe I'm not sure. I was playing with Hui Liang for quite a lot today, off stream and then on stream, and he seemed relatively patient. And then I tried to push him around a little bit with 3-bet for Queen 9 suited.
I heard about this.
Shown a Queen 8 suited 4-bet in my eyeball for half the stack.
Got him.
Yeah, that was quite humbling. So he's ready to play. He's, not to be underestimated yet. Had some fun battling with Troy too. We had some fun pots.
Yeah, obviously Troy ending up getting the better of you, unfortunately.
Yeah. He plays very well and runs well. I've got a running term with the Troy sweeper. I don't think there's any 2 people I run with.
Yeah.
The 2 of them combined, and then I'm seeing double of it. can't win all in against them. It's one of those when they play well and they also run well, it gets quite tough to beat.
Yeah, quite frustrating as we are going to see Patrick Sivits, the ace king with the spade, takes it down. Not your first deep run so far this series. You ran relatively deep in the deep freeze as well. What's the vibe been like so far for you this series? Obviously, you've had some pretty big results in the last kind of 18 months or so. APO last year, taking out the Players' Champs. A couple of other deep runs as well last year. What's the kind of vibe been like this series for you?
It's been cruising. A few small caches, then FT, the deep freeze. But the deep freeze kind of, ironically, is like the pole opposite of the Centurion. Get to the FT where a lot of their stacks are 7 to 10 big lines, even though we're playing for quite a lot of money. But Centurion was a whole different ball game, a lot more fun when we're playing some real poker.
Alrighty, just give us 1 sec, guys. All right, picking up the action. That board is incorrect. We're actually one hand past that, so we're waiting on things to catch up. Yeah, but what was the FT of the deep freeze like? I came over at one point and saw that you were relatively deep across the board, but it was pretty slow for pace of play.
Sorry, deep freeze?
Yeah, the deep freeze, yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. I was sitting there with second chips out of 9 and waiting for people to bust, but people were not keen on busting, and they were very keen to play very patiently, frustratingly.
Great, good times.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. I haven't played with the chip leader here, Jimmy. I don't think I've played with him before, but it was quite crazy. I saw when the average was 3 mil. I think he had 22, 23.
Yeah.
Just bonkers.
Yeah, so he had 23 million with 20 players left, which was good for almost a third of the chips in play.
Unreal at that stage of the tournament.
Yeah. It almost feels a little bit underwhelming that he got to the FC with 27. I was expecting to get
yeah, because you could easily double hard to double when you've already got that many chips in play, but yeah.
So who are you staying with when you're here? Who's the crew that you're kind of surrounding yourself with? I saw you rocking the Deep Blue merch today on the table, so...
Yeah, it's funny to say Deep Blue. I'm not involved personally with Deep Blue, but my friends Malcolm and Igor are involved. I'm happy to rep that. And I also just needed some brightness protection.
Yeah, we had a lot of questions wondering whether or not you were a part of the coaching staff.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not part of the coaching staff, but I'm just happy to support my friends.
Yeah.
And if anyone's looking for coaching, they're two of the best in the business. And I've learned a lot from them, like unofficially. So I can only imagine their course is going to be amazing. However, I had this running joke that I feel like if you're wearing the Deep Blue merch, you just get assumed that you're a maniac and everyone's going to fight back at you. And then I'm wearing this Deep Blue hat and I'm getting people 4-betting with Queen 8 versus me and rebluffing me in every spot. So maybe I might give the merch a break.
Yeah, let's go to a training platform where the two coaches are Malcolm, who is renowned for 5-bet piling 80 bigs in the main event FT with ace-5 suited, and a Brazilian. What could happen?
Yeah, I don't want to be associated with that image.
Getting a shout out, Noel Jabba in Facebook says, "Is that Johan, my commentary partner?" He was cheering you on all day in the chat.
Very appreciated.
Also, Craig Abernathy says, "Great run, $56 in the fantasy was a cheap buy." What fantasy team are you affiliated with for the series?
I had a team with Nathaniel Cooper and Romain, and we drafted myself and Romain.
Up the field?
Up the field,
That's
indeed.
Right. Yeah. Right, picking up the action, Hui Yang with the pocket jacks. Going to face a 3-bet. Troy's going to take it north for what looks to be 1.4 million. Anybody waking up with anything in the blinds? No. As it looks like Chris is going to be causing these guys some problems. We saw a bust out of Stoddy in seat number 3, but Chris has got 9.8 big blinds. Everybody else is kind of just waiting for him to bust out, but he just won't die. So ICM factor becomes a pretty major aspect of this.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic of not just there being a short stack, but how the short stack's playing.
Yeah.
If you can see the guys holding on for dear life, it changes things compared to someone who you're like, oh, they might bust any minute now.
Yeah.
Interesting, Troy's covered here, but still not afraid to be aggressive here.
Yeah.
I do like that a lot. Troy's very aggressive, and so it's a very good attribute about his game.
I think we're just going to see the 4-bet whack come out here from Queen.
I think so, but I've seen crazier things, but I think that would likely be the play. Or maybe some sort of 4-bet non-all-in is possible as well.
If you guys have any questions for Johan in the booth, please feel free to send them through. We'll do our best to get him to answer them. No promises it'll be a good answer, but try our best. And after the Jackstar, you've got the main. You're going to be firing in the 5K if... well, I'm going to say that you're not going to be able to because you're going to be on the FTA domain.
Ideally, we'll be busy. I was hoping to be busy for the Jackstar, but unfortunately, my time was made available. It looks like an all-in here from Hui Liang.
Yep. Pink's used, and Troy lets it go. Down to 7.1 mil, he goes.
I was telling you before about the 4-bet. He 4-bet bluffed me. And I had the read that it was a relatively conservative player, and then he bluffed. I had Queen 9 suited, so I wasn't fighting back either way. But I was quite confident he just had it, and then he win mills an 8 in my eyeball. And straight away he tells me I'm friends with Milan and Armin from Adelaide. And
Milan, Meta, and Armin.
Yeah. And he said, those boys told me if Johan 3-bets, 4-bet everything. And 4-bet he did. So then I had a stern talking to Milan, and they stitched me up big time. He took their advice to heart, and was very successful.
Oh, man, they're going to tell me this little fact. I'm sure it's not going to have any impact on anything in the tournament. Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
Damn it. So 7 left in this one. How are you feeling fatigue-wise? Obviously, this is a very long day. You would have been 10 or 11 hours into the second day or third day of play. How are you feeling as far as an energy standpoint goes, getting this deep in this tournament?
I feel relatively tired yesterday, to be honest, but once you get this deep in the tournament, you're just sort of hyped up on adrenaline. And it doesn't really matter how much sleep or how tired you're feeling, the spot just under some gambling endorphins are running through your veins, and tiredness isn't really a factor.
Now, question for you, did you jump into this one straight away, or did you late reg this tournament?
I jumped in straight away, and then I jumped in straight away again on day 1. So 2 bullets day 1, and then I bought in early on day 3.
Okay. Question for you, how was it as far as the level of play when everybody was sitting 200 bigs deep at the very start? Obviously, you have a bit of a cash game background. Watching the stream, I've got a cash game background, so people were mixing it up quite a lot. So what was that like relative to somebody who's done a fair bit of work at that point? It's a bit of a theoretical question, so you don't need to go too in the weeds.
That's one that I do like about tournaments like this, where you get there's sort of like 2 tournaments in the tournament. There's like there's like almost like a cash game day 1, where you sit there, everyone can rebuy, and you're just playing sort of chippy V, deep stacked.
Yeah.
And then day 2, it becomes the tournament where you bring your cash game chips to day 2. But yeah, it's cool to see, and it's also interesting seeing how people play very differently. You'd expect them to play some ways deeper, but they play similarly to how they are shorter. A lot of strategies, I found this quite confusing coming from cash games to tournaments. A lot of the strategies are actually flipped. So one good strategy in cash is actually the polar opposite of what you should be doing in tournaments. Yeah. And I've blundered by doing what I thought was a good strategy, because that's what I'd always done.
The one that always catches me off guard is the offsuit ace-x defends at like 20 to 30 big blinds. Like, I'll just have like ace-8-0 in the big blind, and I'll be playing cash. I'm like, in the muck.
I've been a victim. Yeah, it's easy. You generally just play good hands in cash for the most part.
Yeah.
But because of big blind ante and the raises are smaller, you have to get in the mix with some. To a cash game brain, it feels like some junky hands.
So I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, I shouldn't be doing this.
It feels dirty. It feels wrong.
A6 for Hui Liang finds the open from +1. Jimmy's not going to get in the mix, even though he's got 100 bigs.
That's interesting. He definitely could at least call, I'd say.
It was interesting. On the feature, he made a couple of pretty snug folds folded Queen 8 suited from hijack and stuff like that. Open fold, like first place. Unopened. So it was kind of a little bit interesting to see how he was navigating the big stack. Obviously, for him, it doesn't really matter. He made 2 sets in an orbit, zipped in King 6 offsuit for 25, blind and stacked ace jack. Did a bunch of other stuff that just sent his stack northwards.
That will do it. Yeah. Is it, chip lead there, maybe it's a mentality of just preserving the chip lead. But maybe I'm just a greedy fella, but when I've got a chip lead, I want to really put the metal.
You're playing 80%, you're just in the mix.
That's the most fun part of poker ever, where it feels kind of rigged in your favor.
Yeah, it was funny. I was saying the same thing, chatting to Aiden when I was running Geek Mystery. I had like 3x average at one point. I was like, man, it's so fun just hunting the bounties with almost any 2.
Yeah.
Looking at like King Deuce O and the low jack, and everybody else has got 15 bigs. You're like, good luck, everybody. Like, let's go.
They know that you're taking the piss, but they can't do anything anyway.
Exactly.
You're allowed to just be a menace. And not much. Interesting to see Chris Lee here with 10 bigs, ace-8 suited.
Feels like it just go for it, right? It doesn't really have any immediate ICM factors. He's the clear shortest.
Yeah.
So this one just becomes a jam, I would think. earlier on he had King Queen and decided to min off of 15 bigs. Ended up getting jammed on and folded, I believe.
Okay,
So,
that sounds like could be a good play. Depends on what position.
yeah, it was a +2 open, so it could, probably
Yeah,
be correct.
that sounds like good play.
Yep.
Does go for the min-raise and the hijack.
We fall around to the chip leader, King Queen himself, as we talk about it, and Xia Fang Dong, or Princess as she likes to be known, waking up with 10s in the big.
Okay, all dealers, please bring all your
Chips are going in. I'm not exactly sure how they are going in yet.
with a laptop on them in the center of the ring.
Wow, just a call. If we see a flop 3 ways, this will be remarkable.
I think we're just going to see it all in and maybe get called off with Chris. What do you think? She's got 19 bigs herself. Wow, she's just going to call as well.
This is actually, it took 3 like 5% out, like for ace-8 not to jam, king queen not to raise, 10s not to jam or raise.
Crazy. To the flop.
It took 3 very conservative plays.
Couple 9s and a deuce. 1 club. We've got a question from Turbo Tomero asking, just got back. Is that Johan? Is that you? Is that you, Johan?
It might be.
Yeah.
It might be.
What gave it away? Couple 9s and a Dewey. Jimmy all covered up, mask, AirPods, sunnies, hoodie. I noticed that you don't really rock any accessories. You had to put on a hat just to deal with the lights, and the sunnies extra, but usually you're just a all natural type
Yeah,
guy.
not really a fan of the hat and sunnies.
Yeah.
I prefer just playing without and being able to see clear. I'm not too worried. I think people are a little bit too paranoid of live tells,
Yep.
in my opinion.
Yep.
Even as someone who likes to look into live tells, I think a lot of people are a bit too defensively scared.
We are going to see a bet of what looks to be 850 come out from Chris. Snapball from the King Queen. What does Xia Fang Dong do now? He's only got 4.8 big blinds behind.
I think she surely just puts it in for this, what is it, 6 bigs?
She has been, for lack of a better phrase, remarkably snug.
Yeah.
Like, almost impressively snug.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Wow. So Johan GG's intense.
Yeah, that's such a wild hand. I'm not sure. There's like almost every decision from everyone involved in the hand was amazing.
Going back to
These people are all, I don't. These people have all bested me, so I'm not to say anything about their play.
going back to chatting about some of the guys that you surround yourself with in fantasy. I saw a photo of you guys all at the gym the other day. What's it like having that kind of crew supporting each other through the series and doing stuff outside of the room?
Yeah, poker can be a pretty selfish endeavor, so it's cool to have a bit of sort of camaraderie and team aspect. Well, not really a team, but you know what I mean. Just to feel like you're in it with a bunch of other people. And then also if you're surrounded by people with like-minded goals, you can sort of lift each other up.
Yep.
Been trying this series to try and focus a bit more on health.
Yep.
In the last year or so, sort of focused on playing and sort of have forgone health.
Yep.
It sort of caught up to me a little bit.
Usually, we saw you guys in the gym, but for some reason I have a feeling you play tennis or paddle sometimes as well. Have I got that right?
I don't. Some of the boys do.
Some of the
I'm
boys
not
do,
really
okay.
a paddle or tennis fella.
Yeah. What sport are we playing if we are going to play anything on the side?
I'm not really that big of a sports guy. I'm just going to the gym and swimming, cracking
Swimming?
around,
Yeah,
going
okay,
for a walk.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm a bit too old and broken to me bones to be playing sports.
Now, while you're here, I think we might as well have some fun. Are you a football fan at all as far as Premier League stuff goes?
No, not really. I used to follow it quite intensely when I was younger, and I haven't in a while, but following a little bit casually. I'm familiar with the Premier League and football in general.
So I will ask a couple of questions. So there's something that I've been doing with all the guests, which is red, yellow, or play on. Whilst there's no hands going on here, actually we'll pause. Ace deuce suited and the ace queen. Are we going to see if we just put the triangle in here and apply pressure? Feels like a nice one.
Seems like a nice thing to just jam. Don't need to get too pretty with it. It's interesting too. I saw Dwao, who I don't know. Forgive me if I pronounced that wrong. He opened ace-5 off early and folded to Jimmy's 3-bet.
Yep.
From early position, was a little bit looser. So and the people at the table are watching the stream like as we are now, so they'll be up to speed with that.
Does jam. Triangle flung that away. A bit of a chuckle from Wu. Felt like he knew it was
We're
coming.
just getting
Lets it
through
go.
the last 2 opens.
Yep. All right, so red card, yellow card, or play on. We've got some instances of poker that you might come across. I want you to know whether it's a red, a yellow, or if we're just letting
Okay,
letting
I
it
like
go.
it.
All right. So obviously we've heard James Camilleri out on the floor screaming whenever we hear an all-in from him in his 1-1.
Yeah.
So first one is going to be celebrating an all-in with aces, level 1. Like standing up and cheering kind of thing.
That's a play on.
Okay.
I would rather err on the side of like obnoxious, arrogant than a room full of like robotic people. So I would always I'm giving play on advantage when it comes to obnoxious celebrations. Within reason, I'd actually say level 1 more play on. When it's ironically when it's later on and someone just busted in deep spot, then hold in a little bit of celebration.
Yeah. Okay. Next one is stacking your chips in 10s.
Ooh, I'm giving that a red card because they should be stacked in 5s.
Oh.
Those in the know will know. That stacking in 5s is the way. That's not only play on, that's encouraged.
Wow. That's the least similar take from everybody else I've asked.
Okay, I was running 5 stacks for almost the entirety of yesterday.
Right, and it was just working very well. Actually, no, I walked over at one point and saw your red stacked up, and it looked tilting as hell. Xiaofang going to find the Jack-9 suited open. Not passing up on this one, interestingly. Folds those 10s in that spot, but not this one. Is Troy going to wake up? Ace-8 off suit. Interesting. What do you reckon, Troy? What avenue do you reckon he's going to take with this one?
I think Ace-8, it's kind of like middly. Could call this sometimes, but I think if once we see that someone's playing very careful, I'd be happy just to jam quite a lot. But this hand does play quite well as a call, and you don't really get called by worse hands. Keeping some dominated things, but
Spicy flop. Open ender for Troy. Middle pair and a gutter for Xiaofang. What are we going to see here? He flicks the check over. What size are you thinking we're going to see here? Something in the vicinity of like 400k, maybe 425. Anything?
yeah,
It's one of those like anything works type boards, right?
yeah, I think so. Yeah. Could I've known does it actually c-bet quite a lot? I was going to say she could check, but she actually did c-bet quite a lot. You could check this back too.
What size has she chosen? She said 350, I think.
Okay, also just over a big one.
What's going on?
I think she didn't have the chips, the small chips available to whatever a bet was. So she chucked in a pink 500.
That'll work.
And Troy could go either way here.
I was waiting on confirmation of the size, as it is 350.
350.
Yep, so roughly 1/5 pot. Call made. Onwards we go to a turn, 2.35 out there. Kangador just got, how the hell do you fold 10s there? Welcome to the stream.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in.
Turn was coming ace, pretty sure.
Yeah, always. Another check from Troy. Are we going to see her continue, or do we see her slow down? It's funny, she's had those sunglasses on her head all day, but she hasn't worn them a single time. With the lights and everything. She's just
Full aesthetics.
yeah. It's like people who sit on planes and like stare straight ahead. They call it like raw dogging flights, where they just don't look at movies or anything. Queen of diamonds on the end as this 9 holds up.
I've got a good feeling Troy's bluffing. I'm just trying to consider how big he goes.
Blocking the straights, blocking the nut flush on the end as well. What size do you reckon would make sense? Like 1.6?
Yeah, I think something pretty big.
No, he
He
checks it.
Showdown belly. He's just going to go check then.
Yep, she's going to take herself up to 6.7 million. Don't do it. All right. Ready for your next red, yellow, or play on?
Yep.
All right, lining your cards up on a card reader when there isn't one.
Oh, that's red. That's horrendous. That's actually horrible. That's the worst. It reminds me of those people that, oh yeah, no, that's really no good. I feel like the people who do that, then they'll put 2 fingers on their shoulder and do like the little finger, little check.
Like the shoulder tap.
Yeah, or even less, just 1 finger. No, that makes me want to vomit. I'm feeling nauseous thinking about that. If they spread it, they spread the 2 and it's like perfect there.
That's it.
Oh no. You don't pay that person off.
All right, next one is using all 30 seconds for every decision in a shot clock event. So obviously, you would have experienced this one, but this is from level 1. This is the whole way through the tournament.
Okay. Well, level 1, it's probably a red card. I'm from level 1, but I can't really talk too much about it because I was max using the 30 seconds for almost every decision on stream. But when you got 4K pay jumps and you're one of the shortest stacks, you got to do what you're gonna do.
Yeah, of course.
I personally, I have the take that I don't think shot clocks slow to speed up the game that much.
I'm of the similar opinion. Yep.
I think they need some adjustment in the rules. I don't think we should bring them in from level 1. I think they're good for the bubble, but we should have like maybe 15 seconds free. But then more 15 seconds pre, then 30 for like a action before you pre, and then 30 seconds post. But then generous with the time banks, and they've been generous enough in this event.
So that's what Triton does in the sense that it's 10 seconds pre at Triton.
That seems crazy if you have it like come from 30, but like almost every decision pre-flop, if it's unopened, you don't need more than 1.5 seconds more often than not.
Well, that's the thing. It's 10 seconds if it's unopened, but once it gets to like raise or 3-bet, it extends to 30, and then you use the time
perfect.
banks. But obviously that's with tempo, that's with everything. Sorry, that was before tempo. Now tempo is part of it, and everybody's got their own
shot clock thing?
It's like a unique, it's like a chess clock for every player.
That sounds amazing, but obviously logistically and technologically
borderline impossible to implement, especially in size. All right, next one, sunglasses. Obviously, we're gonna wonder about this, given you needed them for the lights.
It's the first time I've worn sunglasses in months or years. I think. I play on, each to their own. Not my forte, but carry on.
All right. Having other people pull your mystery bounty.
Oh, play on. That's amazing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You get to share the victory, and then you also get to outsource the blame. It's just a win-win. You can't really go wrong.
All right. Slow rolling a chop.
Oh, that's play on. That's beautiful.
Okay. See, we had Dean Cox in that seat, and he said, "Play on, in fact, encouraged."
Yeah, I'd agree. It's almost a yellow. It's a yellow if you don't slow roll a chop. I would say. I go the other side.
Eating food without cutlery at the table.
Oh, that's red. Straight red.
So like chicken tenders.
Send them. No, that's like a 3-week ban. Forget red. It's
a red and 10-match suspension.
Or like without the. Yeah, finger food, like some saucy finger food is actually, it's not much worse. I actually think, jokes aside, I actually think there should be a rule, no finger food at the table.
Yep.
It's just
100%.
Honestly disgusting. Even for their own sake, like have.
Geez, you're a bit heated there.
You're getting me all rolled up.
And the last one that I got for you is folding out of turn to go to the bathroom.
That's a yellow card. And actually I got another rule I do like. I've played a little bit in Asia where any fold out of turn, no context or warning needed, instant 1-hand penalty.
Good.
Which is a very relatively light penalty, but it nips everyone in the butt straight away.
Good.
It's perfect. I think that should be a universal rule.
And yeah, there you go. Red, yellow, play on. If you got any that you think about, let me know, and I'll make sure I ask all my guests about it. On the food topic, Krilly had a very funny story for me that he said that, I don't know if it was this series or in the past, he said that 2 times he's seen somebody order a sausage roll, unwrap the sausage roll, and store it in the drink holder.
Oh, I did see that. I think that's at the same table. I can't remember. Yan, the Chinese guy from Sydney.
What, Yan Wen Yi?
Yeah, I think that's,
It's him.
He was sausage rolling in the cup holder, but we're playing the big bounty, and he was on an absolute tear.
Wait, was this series or last year?
Yeah, this series, just like a week ago.
Oh, I haven't seen him here, so it might be somebody else.
Oh, okay, I'm not sure. Yeah, he doesn't speak much English. Chinese guy from Sydney. You recognize him?
Yeah, okay.
But he was the sausage roller in the cup holder. That's strong, very strong. And he was, to quote you, he's raw dogging it, no tomato sauce. So that's like next level.
That's hectic. That's very strong. No sauce, that's hectic.
Yeah.
It's like those chicken wings. I don't know how to. Sorry, the chicken tenders. I don't understand how anybody eats those things without the sauce.
Ah, yeah.
They're very dry. Like
Yeah.
I was raving about them because they're like very lean, they're like good quality,
okay.
but they're pretty dry.
Yeah, I haven't tried them. I
They're
think the
decent.
curries are the way.
I haven't had the curry yet. I think I need to check that out.
The curries generally are the way here, I think.
All right. Anyway,
I
there's
will
actually a
vouch.
poker tournament going on. 780 entries, 7 remaining. Looks like Jimmy with 100 Beavers is still chilling in the lead. What do you think about that, Justin's, when talking about the amount of big blinds you got?
Say again, sorry? The
Justin's for the amount of big blinds you got.
Justin's?
Yes.
Oh, like Justin Bieber?
So Beavers, yeah.
Yeah, that's a yellow card.
Yeah.
That's no good.
There's a few like phrases that I'm trying to get over. That one,
You got to skip that one.
when you're on the bubble, you're on the Michael Bublé.
I don't mind that.
When you find a
I don't
double up,
know.
it's a Michael Bublé.
Oh, that's good. The two together even better.
Yeah, but I call it a visit from Michael. So if somebody asks me for an update, I say I had a visit from Michael.
That's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah,
Okay,
let's go.
that one's good.
Yeah.
Justin's no good though.
Yeah,
Sack
Justin's
that one.
it needs some work. Sevens for Troy, sweet. Chris with the 8-3 offsuit. Nice in blackjack, not so much in this one.
And
Let's
it's
go.
interesting dynamic we're talking earlier about Jimmy. You're saying a little bit like not as aggressive as you'd expect someone with like double second and chips to be.
Yeah.
There's interesting dynamics where sometimes chip leader positions can get assumed.
Yeah.
If someone notices the chip leader isn't going wild, if you're second in chips, you can just be like, no worries, I'll take up the CEO position and I'll be the captain.
It seems to be what Hui Liang's actually been doing because he had 10 million not long ago and all of a sudden
Yeah.
he's got 16.
If
so.
he's not gonna get any fight back from the chip leader, why not? You can just be like, okay.
Jack 8-6, couple of spades, couple of overs to the sevens is not super comfortable, but still the best hand at the moment. Sorry, I'm just getting messages from people asking if I'm finished in commentary. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm still going. 14-hour day. Here I am. Let's go. 500k from Troy, and down goes the ace 5.
Pretty nice pot to pick it. Even all these small pots when all these guys send 20th something big, just to see bet and take is quite huge.
Now, you mentioned earlier that you played in Asia and came across that rule. How much poker have you done internationally?
Not too much in Asia, to be honest. That was just Cambodia, a little bit of Philippines. I haven't played much in Asia, but heard good things. But mostly just played in Australian circuit and then a little bit in Vegas and Canada.
Yeah, Canada. Playground?
For
or-
tournaments, that is. Yeah, playground, yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite poker.
Yeah, right.
All in all.
I chat a fair bit to Hassan from Sydney, and he played in playground for
The
quite a while.
two-time APL.
The two-time,
man-to-man
two-time,
champ.
yeah.
People don't remember.
It's so funny chatting to him about tournaments these days because he
Ah,
absolutely
yeah.
hates them, man.
A jaded
Oh, man.
tournament player.
A jaded Mizreg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prefers his cash games.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's really funny whenever I remember Cat chatting to him about hands. Some of the ways that he describes certain things that happen just absolutely send.
Yeah. No, he's great.
A mate of mine does a really good impression of Huss doing a hand history.
Oh, really?
It's next
Oh,
level.
okay.
I'll tell you
I'd
about
love
it
to hear
after.
that, yeah.
Question from Silly Horsey. If you're in this spot, Johan, would you want to just play until finish or take the bag at 2 a.m. or down to 6 or something? So what would you like to do in this one?
Not a pet peeve of mine is when you know you can't close out a tournament in time. I hate playing there's no point playing a 14-hour day to then play 4 hours the next day. If we know we're not going to make it, let's make it a 10-hour day and then another 10-hour day.
Yeah.
I think that's a no-brainer, in my opinion. But once you know you can't make it for sure, let's call it quits early, rest up, and then have a modest day the next day.
So Brendan's got an interesting question about heads up. Is there one single player that you would just hate to get heads up with in any tournament? Like if you had to pick one person to play heads up against.
I genuinely quite like tournaments for the competition aspects, and it's kind of fun when you get heads up. I've had my most fun in heads up playing like Malcolm, my friend, and then playing like Daniel Nelson.
Well, that's actually the next question we had was asking about that heads up against Nielsen.
Yeah, to be honest, those heads up, for my bottom line, I'd rather play someone else.
Yeah.
But for the love of the game and for like the satisfactory victory, I want to play the toughest players and players that are just genuinely better than me.
Yeah.
And then when I can get it over them or get lucky on that day, that feels very satisfying.
What was it like playing heads up against Nielsen when the kind of average blood alcohol level was 0.18?
0.18, that's including my 0.00.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack 4-3 flop. Turn card is the 7 of clubs. Gut shot for the 8-6 now. Gut shot for the 10-8 as well, in fact. Like we saw a bet and a call. Jimmy finding the float with the backdoor straight at a flush draw.
I do really like the float on the flop.
Do you prefer raise in a spot like this, or do you think float's fine?
I think both are fine. I feel like you get a lot more information with a float because you now see what they do on the turn.
Yep.
And in position calling is quite nice. You just keep the SPR quite big and more ways to outmaneuver them later.
Looks like we are going to see 650 and the 10-8
Yeah,
goes
very nice.
down. Nicely played there from Jimmy and takes himself up to around 31 million now. Nearing half the chips in play.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He's got double second right now. Yeah, that would have been a fun experience. Was that your biggest score up until that point?
Yeah, the biggest score and still is biggest score.
Yeah, wow.
So that was fun to play. And there was no talks of deals. I wasn't
Yep.
expecting anything.
Yep.
And there was egging on him, giving me a hard time for this spin. So much money that I'm playing for, but not for him. And, having a grand old time talking a lot of trash to me. But I don't know, that added to the experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was fun. To be honest, he generally got the better of me in heads up in terms like skill wise.
Yeah.
And outmaneuvered me in a few pots, but then I just cooled him in 2 or 3.
We've got a question from Liam Jehu in the chat. How many beers, Johan?
Crazy. Oh, how many beers? Is that the question? Just
Yeah,
right.
it's just how many beers, Johan? No context, no nothing. Just how many beers, Johan?
Okay. Well, right now, actually, astonishingly, it's most my sober commentary debut.
Yeah.
I don't think I've done a commentary session.
As I mentioned earlier, he's raw dogging the commentary.
Yeah, this is raw dogging. No beers, unfortunately, Jehu. I'm sure Jehu had a couple beers after his second trophy. Winning the 120 self-tell.
It's really funny because Jehu said to me on day one that he was going to go this series, he wasn't going to drink.
Yeah.
He said day one,
Cool.
he always has a big, snap it off.
Yeah.
He said day one, he always has a big party with a few guys, and he did that. He walked in, he looked like he was half dead.
Yeah.
And the other day, I saw him with a beer, and I was like, I thought you said you weren't going to drink anymore. And he goes, yeah, and just walked off.
Yeah.
So, yeah, congrats on shipping the 120, and congrats on getting back on the right track,
Yeah.
sinking the beers again.
Yeah. Beers and self-tells, they seem to go hand in hand.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. So I've always thought, talking about like Nielsen drinking beers and playing, I've thought of this like tournament, like this new tournament format. That would be great if it's like a drinking tournament format where after you win an all-in, you blow on a breathalyzer.
Yeah.
And if you blow under, then you don't win the hand. Hand's void.
we had this exact conversation in commentary yesterday.
Oh, did we? Really?
Somebody was talking about this, yeah. And I came up with the idea of a party that I've always wanted to go to where you set an alcohol limit and the goal is that everybody has to try and stay within that limit. So you make it like
on a top end as well? So you can't get too drunk?
Yeah, exactly. Everybody
what are
has
we
to
doing?
stay. No, but
So
everybody
there's
has
a
to
cap?
stay
Okay.
like in a certain point.
Gotcha.
So nobody gets super messy.
But no one can fall behind.
Exactly. So you make it like 0.12 to 0.17 or something,
Yeah.
and everybody's going to stay in that mark.
Okay.
Sounds like it could be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But anyway, Chris with the 7-3 hasn't really woken up with anything, but being the short stack, he's just kind of waiting for everybody else to do something. There's Xiaofang and Jiao Wu actually around that 20 big blind mark, so things are leveling out a little bit. Den says they're surely not going to a day 4. I'm sure everybody on the table will want to play Jackstar.
I was chatting a little bit to the players when we were final 2 tables, and I had grand dreams of still being in this. Most people could care less, to be honest, about the Jackstar when you're on the FT of playing for 360k.
Yeah, well, these guys have locked up north of 40k, so I don't really think they're thinking about wading through a 2,000 player field again.
Players were saying they're considering like buying a ticket just to have reserved for the Jackstar, but other players saying, no, they don't want the bad juju of having a ticket in another tournament.
Question from the VEV. Johan, did you manage to get Troy's hair care routine while you're sitting next to him?
Haircut, yeah, he could be in some Pantene
Neutrogena,
commercial.
or not Neutrogena, it's fucking skin cream, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I did not, but yeah, we had some fun playing together. It was good time.
Also, I will say,
Until it was.
you got a number of comments. You and I chatted about your PRX the other day. You got a number of comments about the watch, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a couple of guys in the chat chatting about it as we see the Queen 8's going to get opened and small blind. King Jack suited just defended instead of 3-bet whack comes out BVB. A little bit interesting. To the flop we go.
Was it a raise and a call? Is it?
Yep, 600k and a call. Ace King at 3.
It's coming from Princess. He said it's been relatively snug, so
Yeah.
given quite a lot of respect.
He's going to check it over. Hui Liang with middle pair. Reaching for those greens. 100k each fires in one big blind. And if she's folding 10s on 9-9 deuce, what do you think's going to happen here with Queen High?
I never try and extrapolate one hand to another because I'm blown up my head. But yeah, I think this is probably going in the muck.
Yep, and down it goes. But yeah, the blood alcohol tournament sounds very interesting. I don't know how or why. Like, I reckon if you do it with more than 3 tables, you're going to have a serious problem.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, that's what I described as pretty much a teams event where it's the honor system.
Yeah,
People keep above that alcohol level just for the love of the game.
You're mainly playing Hold'em. Are there any other variants of poker that you enjoy playing? You play any mixed games? You dabble?
No mixed games. Some of my friends got into mixed games and trying to get me to come along too, but I'm still... It's like learning another language. I'm still learning English, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to learn Hold'em, so other games are a bit tough. But I play a bit of Pilo Cash.
Yep. Malcolm trying to get you to play the bomb pot streets as well.
I don't play online much, but I do love double board Pilo bomb pots live. I think they're amazing.
Yeah.
They can be a lot of fun. I think they're cool when they're mixed in with the normal game.
Yeah.
But to play them straight is kind of no
Like
fun.
on the hour on a monotone.
On the
flop
hour,
or-
dealer change or something,
Yeah.
or like once in orbit or something is cool.
When you were in Vegas, did you play much cash, or were you strictly
A
tournaments?
little, maybe like 10 or 20%, a little Pilo Cash.
Yeah. In the King's room in the WSOP, which is like the high roller area you would know in Paris. Usually on every dealer changeover, they'll do double board 5-card bomb pots.
Yeah, that's what I was playing 5-card PLO there, and that's what they'd do.
Yeah.
And there are a lot. For me, that's my favorite 5-card double board bomb pots.
Yeah. I've actually got a funny story about that room. When I was there back in 2022, they had a table that was just playing stud the whole time. And there were these two like 70-year-old ladies that went and sat next to each other playing stud. And it was like, I don't know what the limit, it was like $100 like big blind, $100 blind. So it was like, they were like buying into like 10K, right?
Yeah.
I went and chatted to one of the regs that was there. I was like, what's the go with these two little old ladies playing stud? And he turns to me and goes, dude, they're up 80K in 3 days. And I'm sitting there, what?
Some auntie crushes.
Yeah, some auntie crushes just rocking up playing stud, destroying the regs. And I was like, hell yeah, let's do it. That's sick. Dan Reed's asking if there's any reason they are scheduled this way. Sheer influx of players. I don't think they were expecting to get almost.
In what way? The
800
schedule of having the day 4 for this?
Yeah. Well, there was no day 4 schedule. Obviously, we're playing to this point.
Yeah. I feel like this is like the curse of APL is their own success. That they're like, it would be easier if they just had less numbers. But it's the curse of having a successful popular series.
Yep. Jimmy with the King 6 offsuit open from the cutoff. Troy coming along.
And we've got pretty big, gone 800 too.
Yep.
Almost 3 bigs.
Defend with the 8-7. And the King 10-9. Open ender for the 8-7. Top pair for Jimmy.
It's a bit of an action flop.
The 6 would be wild.
Yeah, that is.
As we see Troy in the background as well.
Or Jack, sorry. Is that the joke?
Yeah, that was the joke. Yeah, that's right.
Sorry,
C-bet comes out from the King 6, 750. 2.5 bigs.
Let's see what Jack's going to do here.
Nice. 21 bigs behind. Good for 6.4 million in biscuits.
Do you think they are telepathic?
I think so.
Do you think they're discussing right now through twin telepathy?
One of them sitting there looking at a laptop with Sims, and the other one just closes his eyes. It's like seeing the Matrix or like the Queen's Gambit. The stuff on the roof. Another 9 on the turn is, I think that might bring things to a swift close if Jimmy fires again. As it's really awkward. I've got my headphones on, obviously, listening to the table chat. There's no table chat, but it's pretty spooky hearing this without any riffling chips in the background from outer tables. We've
Oh,
gone from
okay.
having
Yeah, it's
every
eerie
single
now.
table.
Yeah.
I feel like I can actually hear things. I think, whoa, what's going on? It feels empty. Do you think we find Troy lead this? And it looks
Wow,
like he
yeah.
will.
This is a pretty cool lead.
1.2 million, feeling like he's going to have a lot more 9x than his opponent. Probably doesn't apply super often against the chip leader, but in theory, it probably still makes sense sometimes, right? We see this in cash as well. At like
Yeah.
100. Call's going to get made. SPR of much less than 1 now. Jack or 6 required. Can he find it? No, he can't. 3 of diamonds is a brick. 4.5 million behind, 6 million in the middle. Do we
I
see
really
the
like this
triangle?
lead onto. I personally find these leads really cool, but you end up in these really tough spots. Part of playing good poker is you end up playing difficult spots.
Yep.
And you sort of like jungle yourself, you know, okay.
What are we going to see here? Do we see the triangle flung in his direction, representing an all-in? Time bank's going to be used first. Any reads on the time bank usage in this tournament?
No, I personally didn't see too much. I probably should have been paying a bit more attention. It's hard to say person to person. Troy did use a few when I called his bluff. But I don't think Troy, I think Troy generally just thinks about doing the right play. So it's not like trying to.
Wow, Troy
reverse
puts
sell
in most of it.
effective all in.
Yep.
This
Leaves
is a
himself
huge spot.
with
He's essentially out if he's called off here.
leaves himself with roughly 1.5 bigs behind.
Whether this works or not, I just love the gumption here. This is some.
Oh my God, he
snapped
basically snaps
off.
him off.
Wow.
Jimmy up to half the chips in play now. 38 million. Troy, our new short stack with only 1.6 big blinds behind. I mean, props for the
Wow.
effort, but
That's
he's just
gonna be
got
a hand of the FT.
snap looked
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. That one seemed like he knew exactly where he's at. That wasn't a blender. That was. I felt like that would have been a very tough spot, but Jimmy just felt like he knew exactly where he was.
Do you think it's one of those too rich to fold type moments?
Like as in chip stacks, or
Yeah.
like possibly. There is a thing where people aren't thinking if they've got enough chips, it's this is 20% of my stack. Not this is X amount of big ones.
Yeah.
Troy was telling me a funny story when I checked back the Kings earlier and let him bluff into me. He was telling me a phrase he's heard a bunch was that everyone been saying to him and Jack and his mates was let the young kids blast.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let Jimmy did let him blast there.
Yeah. But people just want to put chips in. Just let them.
Yeah. Top pairs, good hand too.
It's something that you see sometimes where guys will get to the river with the nuts out of position, and they're so scared that it's going to go check that they find themselves just leading.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like a bit of an epidemic and kind of like,
I wouldn't say an epidemic. I think it's great.
oh, it's great. It's fantastic. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it.
That's the
But,
play on.
Yeah, yeah, play on. But yeah, it's like one of those, just let them blast.
Yeah.
Check
That's
it
what.
over.
Yeah. If you're ever playing with someone who's aggressive and capable, you don't want to take away that opportunity.
Yeah. Shout out to Sherry. He's Jack for Jimmy. Finds the raise to what looks to be 650, maybe 750. As the twin telepathy didn't help him there.
No, or did hurt him. Maybe the twin phone a friend.
Yeah,
got in
maybe-
trouble. Maybe Troy was saying no, we shouldn't do this.
Maybe it was just pure dark red, and he just decided that he had to go for it. You know? Troy with a king 5 offsuit. Pure shortest, obviously. Do you take this or do you wait a little bit?
Please don't ask me about 1.1 big blind calling ranges on FTs. These are the toughest spots ever in poker. I got no idea what's going on.
It's like he is going to think
It's
this is good
getting
enough.
like an amazing price on chips, but I think it just has to go in. But there's also you fold and you get an orbit to pick a hand or watch someone else pass. But you're giving up a lot of chips if you fold. I think the twins would know better than me, so.
Let's see if the twin telepathy is going to help him out here. Obviously, Chris has to call not much. Needs to call 1.1 bigs, but Queen 4 offsuit is not the hand you probably want to do it with. He's going to come along.
I think he's just looking at a bit of that sort of implied collusion. He
get
wants
this
to
guy.
pay Jack stack the guy.
Yeah. Should Jimmy be open jamming with the 1.6 big blind stack in play?
Yeah, you definitely can put people in. There were some stacks that are quite light. Might be a little bit too much.
Yeah, I think Hui has too many chips. He's got about 50 bigs himself, so. As let's see whether or not Troy is going to be able to stay
He also has a
alive.
hand that is good and can get called, but he raised and got called by Queen 4.
Yeah.
So it's you don't mind getting called.
Yep. See whether or not Troy is going to have one last glimpse at this tournament, or if we are going to be saying goodbye as we near the final hand in this one. We've got roughly 5 minutes to play left, and yep, that seems to be pretty much the story of this tournament so
Some
far.
backdoors for Troy.
That's
Oh,
one of
there's
them.
one.
He's got 3 outs once. River card.
5.
Nah, 9 of clubs is GG.
GG to Troy. Well played.
I think Jimmy's going to flick out one big blind.
I'm surprised he doesn't build the pot earlier.
He's bet 700 or 800. And with that, we are going to say GG's to Troy Sweet. Finishing this one in 7th position. Taking home $40,365. Chris Lee managing to find a ladder with that sub-10 big blind stack. That's a pretty massive moment
that's
for
huge,
him.
Yeah. What was the pay jump? That's not looking like
I think it was about 5 grand.
7 was 40, so 12k.
12K, wow. Massive.
All 12k richer.
Thanks for jumping into the booth at the end of this one. I know it's been a very long day.
Oh, it's okay.
Appreciate
It
it.
has been a long day, but almost.
Do you
I'm
feel
not
your
braced.
adrenaline still pumping a little bit? Or do you
A
feel like
little,
it's kind of subsided?
yeah, a little bit. I'm a bit sort of, just hyped up. Weirdly, not too frustrated with generally just a good day, good fun day of playing.
Yeah.
I'm generally not too tired with the actual results,
Yeah.
or with the process.
So you should tilt the mic down a little bit. You don't have to sit up. You just tilt it down. It's fine. As long as it's like pointing at you, it's fine. Yeah, I mean, finishing in 10th, it didn't really seem like you had too many big opportunities to spin up any chips today.
There was one more. I was relatively short for the most of today. Well, I never had like piles, but then there was a point where had a flip to get to 10 mil or something.
Yep.
Where lost and had 6, but if I had 10 mil, it'd be chip leader of the table.
Yep.
But like, where was me? I ran ace jack into aces earlier, won that all in. So
Oh, wow.
can't really complain about any all in EV or anything.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a bit of a free roll after that. It's weird how poker, the bust, it's all sort of relative, like where you've come from in the tournament, of like how it feels when you bust.
Yep.
If you won some silly all in that you didn't deserve to win, then it sort of feels like a free roll and you're not too upset. If you feel like you've been chipping away, winning, like skill-wise all day, and then you lose one silly pot, then it can be quite frustrating.
Yeah. It's like usually I get most tilted with results when I feel like I've played badly as opposed to the outcome has been.
That's
my
100%
result.
the case for me. Especially if you play bad and you didn't, like you were ignorant, like you didn't know the better play, that's kind of whatever. But when you don't execute, like you could have played better on a different day,
Yep.
that really stings.
Yep. And it's always funny when you get to this point of the night and you see guys make decisions like what Troy just did and wonder if we stopped and we played tomorrow, does the same thing happen? But
I've got a
Can't
feeling
dwell
he'd
on
probably
that.
make that wasn't a I'm tired at the end of the night decision.
Yep.
That was. I think he would back his decision there.
Yep.
That wasn't a tired end of the night decision.
And what about this decision from Dao Wu? 10-9 offsuit in the tank facing this sub-10 big blind rip. It's for half of his stack.
Yeah, I don't think he can call.
Eventually does let it go. Unsure if he's letting the clock tank down to potentially get closer to bagging up for the evening with 6 players
That's an
remaining.
interesting thought. Yeah, is it interesting to think there's some players that might be they're like sort of night owls would sort of peak and thrive at this hour, but other people just like are desperate for some sleep.
Yeah. It's really funny chatting to Naj about this because Naj is obviously renowned for playing like 48 to 72 hour sessions.
Yeah.
He'll get to this point of the night and just be like, nah, we're playing.
Yeah.
I've got such a big edge 14
Oh,
hours in,
yeah.
we're not stopping, yeah. The stamina on that guy to be able to play forever is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah,
What's the longest session you've played?
It's been a long time since I've had a long session, but when I first started playing when I was like 18 at the casino, I played cash games. and I'll do the occasional sort of 30+ hour session.
Wow, that's absurd.
That was very silly and not even smart. Like, yeah, it was just silly. You just loving it. It was, when you first start playing poker, you just love it, and you have a
Do it as
heater
much as
and-
possible.
Yeah, but then you realize that you can go to sleep and it's there the next day.
Yeah.
It was took me a couple of years to realize that.
Yeah.
But it's once you realize that, you go, oh, that's pretty cool. You can it's going to be there the next day.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I chat to a lot of people that have played like marathon sessions, that done like 30, 24-hour sessions. Most of them was 17 before the casinos closed in Macau for a typhoon. I literally played until they closed the casino when I had to leave.
Oh, you got Typhoon kicked out.
Yeah, I got Typhoon kicked out. But I knew the casinos were closing. I was like, no, I got to
Oh,
maximize
okay,
the
you
amount of
were.
time I can play.
Gotcha.
I was making the most of the bad situation.
Yeah. That was a bit. I remember when the COVID. I think it was like the second lockdowns were coming. The casino like opened up, but they're going to close again.
Yeah.
But then there was sort of like rumors that they're going to close in the next day or two, and
Yeah.
everyone's sort of like rushing in
To play.
Like, yeah.
It's really funny. In Macau, they keep the casinos open most of the time. But like even when like a Category 2 typhoon rolled in, all the casinos stayed open.
Just as category 2.
Yeah.
Play on.
They're legit. They were like, the
Typhoon.
safest place to be will be
Perfect
at the
gamble.
baccarat table. You know?
Well, to be honest, it's probably not wrong.
No, they're probably not. But then that one rolled through and it was a Cat 5. And they're like, okay, we're closing. And we're like, oh,
Yeah.
maybe I need to get home. It
Yeah.
was really funny finishing that session. There was nobody anywhere, but there was one cab. And I was like, oh, this is meant to be.
Yeah. Interesting here. Looks like he's got having a suit. Should be Chris got 11 bigs, ace 2 suited. Likely just going all in.
Again, I think this is a letting the clock tank down for the last hand of the night type deal.
Yeah. He didn't seem like a sort of
Oh, he's going to
taking
do it.
time. Yeah.
Okay. Ace deuce.
Is by decent. Oh, decent.
Oh my god, we got the head down action.
Yeah.
Oh, who was the guy that won the main event that did that? There was the pro during COVID 2021, I think, the first one.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, every time he had value,
He just went down.
he just went down like that. And like
Yeah.
people called him off because they thought it was a reverse tell.
Yeah.
Both
it
times
looks
he
like
did it, he
knows.
just had the
Yeah,
nuts.
yeah.
Yeah. Shit is the request from Patrick. He's not freaking out. He's not stoked about it.
Yeah.
I think Queen Jack O's a pretty clear fold here for him.
Yeah. 12, 11, yeah. I think it will be a fold, but it is a couple of pips better, and we're putting it in, I think.
JP Coops is asking what time they're bagging. Legit right now.
Is this the final hand?
I believe this is the final hand. Yeah, I think we're going to be getting out of here now.
I think that's some genuine sweat. I don't think Chris wanted to bust the last hand, but knew he had to put it in.
3.4 was it? 3.425 million.
Some Gusty says, would you say casino poker is being taken over by APL? I don't know, man. Different kind of
game, yeah.
Different scenes of people as well.
Yeah.
Folded the Queen Jack, and with that, guys, we are going to draw today to a close. Johan, thank you so much for taking your time out of your incredibly tiring day to come in and having a chat at the very end of today's play.
No, it's my pleasure, John. Thanks for having me. Always a good time.
And with that, guys, 6 players remaining. We are going to bag and tag. I'm actually not entirely sure what time we're going to be returning, so make sure you keep an eye out on the socials for that information. Once again, thank you for being here. I hope you guys have enjoyed the coverage tomorrow for day 4 of the Centurion, and then after that, day 2 of the Jackstar. We'll see you then. Have a good day.
Guys, you're scared of her.
Thank you.
Guys, are you guys holding a Jackstar ticket? Yes, Chris. Oh, Jimmy, are you holding a Jackstar ticket?